Greetings and salutations, I'm Zook, your lovable storyteller, with Kai, Knave, Sig, and Token, and we're playing the 7th episode of this story of Exalted 3rd Edition. Would anybody like to do a recap of last week's adventure?
I did it last, so it's someone else's turn.
I can do it.
Yay!
I was gonna
Let
say,
me fix-
we just need an order at this point, because I can't
Yeah.
remember whoever goes last.
It doesn't matter to me, as long as somebody does it.
That's fair.
Yeah, no, I will do it. Let me fix my side tone real quick, because it
Sure.
cut off. Because it's stupid.
Yeah.
Alright, there it is. Now I can hear myself. Alrighty, let me look back at the notes. There's a lot of notes, holy shit. The horses were fine. Alan is a badass and could read time from the stars.
The horses are fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that was like right after we got out of the tomb, so we were
Right.
just
Yeah.
like infecting the horses
Someone
and making sure they were
might-
okay. One horse specifically, Radamir's, was moved
Yeah.
from the top of the temple down so that it wouldn't be buried under rubble.
The first thing in my notes is someone moved ... my horse. That was my first note from last session.
That's awesome.
Okay, so basically the temple collapsed. We got out. We made sure our horses were fine, and we set up a camp because it was like 2:35 a.m. to 2:36 a.m. because Alan is a badass and can read time from stars. So we set up a camp, to camp out for the night before we then traveled to the nearest village, which was about a week's travel away, to resupply before we set off for Rothus. There's a whole bunch of details in here about us setting up for camp and stuff. I'm not going to go into that. Rad was actually the one that first mentions that we should stick together at the camp, and Alan was like super surprised. So that was a thing.
Yep.
I have Rad mentions that we should stick together. Alan approves. Then I have some notes on the journey to the settlement. So we went through some of like what the characters were doing at the time. Alan talks a lot because that's what he does. So everybody like knows everything about him now, except for a few things. I know Radamir was collecting some flowers and stuff, and other people were doing other things. We then get to the town, which is filled with clay buildings that are built into the cliffs and hills. It is called Briol. We dine and dash, and then go back and pay. Em, I don't think we can hear you.
No, I'm eating.
Are you eating? Okay, because I can like hear you laughing from the closet, but I can't hear you like in game. So yeah, so then
not left the closet.
the reason we dined and dashed was because time seemingly stopped, and we saw what was a spirit, a god. I think we determined it was a god of some sort. And we were trying to talk to it and figure out what was going on. And it basically led us to conclude that there was something very interesting going on in the village. And it turns out that this was a god that was forgotten because of the dragon-blooded,
Yeah.
not the dragonborn.
Yay!
Yay.
So Alan goes to try to find a library, learns that the library has basically been ransacked and scavenged by the dragon-blooded the last time they had come to the village, because the dragon-blooded don't want anybody worshipping anything else but the dragons. So they found a book that basically kind of described who this god was and what this god was missing, because Whisperer loves gods and wants to help, and so we are all friends and we help. So we are in the process of figuring out how to best help this god so that it does not die, because Whisperer demands it be respected.
Okay,
And
you guys were talking about how you were going to do that with some sort of, because it was like the anniversary of a celebration in 2 days.
Yes,
I
and
believe-
Whisperer has to give a speech.
And I believe that's where we left off.
Yeah, at
Did
the
you
end
guys
of that night.
do anything else that day, or are we elapsing to the next day?
No, all we did was like we went shopping. We got us some rooms to sleep in, and that was about it.
Yeah, you're all stocked up for,
I think it was like a month and a half or something
Yeah.
like that, 2 months.
Okay, so I'll say it's the next morning. And you guys all, well, okay, so dawn. At the strike of dawn, Leonir, you wake up. You wake up, and there is a
Slap
Slap hand on my forehead.
surge of energy as
Oh
you
god!
are filled with the essence, your own essence amplifying itself. It doubles in power, and you instinctively go totemic, bleaching the room
Oops.
of your, bleaching the room so everything looks faded, like it's been standing in the sun for like years. Everything looks faded, and everyone instantly wakes up to a bright flash of light.
I'm just
Whoever
imagining
shared a
fucking.
room with you.
I'm just imagining because like Radomir like has to meditate now and stuff, so like
Uh-huh.
he's technically still like kind of not asleep.
Yes.
So he's just like sitting in bed and all of a sudden flash of light, just fucking flinches. What the fuck?
Well, I think who shared a room? I feel
Well,
like
Alan and Radomir sharing
Yeah.
a room.
Mhm.
and
I
then
think Alan and Radomir
Leo,
shared a room.
Nella, and Whisper.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
Alan, Radomir, you, I'm gonna have both of you roll essence, and
We're gonna roll for sect.
yeah, I'm gonna have you roll perception and perception and awareness plus your essence.
Okay. So 3,
I have
2 is
4 whole
5,
dice.
6. 6.
Good clap.
I got 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay.
Hold on just a second.
It would have been really funny if I had gotten like no successes or like botched. Fucking Radomir's too busy meditating.
You're just.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right. So the people who shared a room with Leonir instantly like just wake up because of the pulse of essence just filling the area. And then there is a loud crash as the energy literally breaks the window leading out
Oh.
into the
Oh,
city.
good.
Just, you guys both instantly jolt up at that sound and feel that pulse of essence just crash through your bodies. It pushes you back a little bit, and then you kind of jostle awake.
Meh.
Hey, what do you guys do?
Slapped hand on the forehead.
I run
Just
to I run to the room next door.
You
Alan is prepared to say that an experiment went awry and
You-
blew up the window.
Basically you're heading to the next room, and the lamps have not been lit yet this morning because it's like the crack of dawn. And
Yeah.
you can just see this like pulsating aura just glowing from underneath the door cracks.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
I open the door
Okay.
and like, well, so like, my plan is like open the door, get in, and like quickly close it, so it like a whole bunch of fucking light isn't spreading through
So
the
yeah,
hall.
you basically open up, and the energy like almost pushes you back like a gust of wind. But you fight past it. You close the door behind you, and there you see Leonir, who is just waking up. Well, it's almost like you were like jabbed in the heart with a shot of adrenaline, Leonir. You are awake. And you can feel this power, and like everyone in your vicinity can feel this power emitting from you. Basically, you have gained essence too. Your body is learning how to adapt with that.
I wish to fight God.
Ah, I wish to fight.
She wants to fight.
Okay, so what do you guys do?
Radomir will like slowly trail behind and then come in like, very quietly, try to keep the door like barely as open as possible before closing it.
Alan throws sheets over Leonir.
It does not dampen it.
No.
It bleeds
I throw more
right
sheets on
through
Leonir.
it. That does not work.
I open the forge and throw Leonir in it.
Leonir,
Good
do you
idea.
resist?
Nope, I'm going in.
Alright, you are now in
Okay.
the forge.
Okay.
Does everybody else go into the forge, or is it just you
Yes,
guys?
Yeah,
Alan
we can go.
follows.
Yeah, we could all go into the.
Alright.
Sure.
So you guys are
God.
all in the forge now, and just the beacon of energy, just in the center. You can see the swirling blades around you from your iconic anima banner just flowing. You are bonfire now.
Hmm.
Are there any like old sets of armor or like training dummies or anything in the forge?
Can I punch something?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna try to do because I know
there is a
punch.
training area in the forge. There is a
I
training
like
area.
I like usher
Please
Leo
let
over
me
there and I like
expel
point.
everything using peony blossom.
Yes.
So you actually think about that for a moment, and basically there is an arena. There's already like it's basically a roped circle, kind of like a sumo wrestling ring. Imagine that kind of thing. And you're thinking, crap, she needs something to disperse this energy with, and in essence, form, a humanoid essence form just appears in the ring and takes a battle stance.
Fight, 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 fight.
All right,
fight,
so
fight.
are you
start chanting.
basically? So you start fighting the essence. You're basically quote unquote training.
Oh, nice.
You could also like use the what is it? Peony blossom.
Yeah,
Brings
peony
yeah.
blossom.
You can
It
basically
literally
fuel your
just-
anima into that blow.
I might as well do it. Do you want me to roll? Or
No,
just do you want me to-
cinematic. Basically, you do peony blossom and just a flurry of attacks as the anima is focused into your blow and blasts into the essence, just destroying it outright.
Oh my god.
And you are now down to just a dim. Basically, it fades away, and you're back to normal.
I feel
now-
alive.
Radomir will like kind of pipe up and say, "That's all fine and dandy, but I really hope that didn't draw a bunch of attention to us."
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
it probably did, but I can
don't
just
know.
say something exploded.
Leonir, I'm gonna have you make a luck roll. One die.
Is that just-
Oh no,
Okay.
here we go.
Oh boy.
Oscar,
This
really?
squeak. He's giving me luck with squeak. 7.
7? Okay. What do you guys do?
Well, okay. So I know kind of what Alan's going to do. Alan is going to basically tell Leonir to sort of stay in the forge for the time being and is probably going to go back into the inn room to maybe try to mitigate what attention there might be. Alan beckons Radomir with him because that's what Radomir does.
Yeah,
is
I'm a-
attention.
I'm a talky person.
So
now.
I'll RP this real quick.
Okay.
Well, I would be hard pressed to think that we didn't draw some attention. I mean, the window shattered.
didn't
I
do it
can
on
say
purpose,
that-
I woke up.
Yeah, I can say that maybe I was experimenting and an explosion happened. We'll obviously have to reimburse the inn,
That's not a
um,
problem.
but but that hopefully that might help. But I think Radomir and I should head back and just see if we can maybe mitigate some of the attention that might be drawn.
I agree.
Leonir, I think you should stay here until you're. And Alan just kind of like motions his waves his hand, like almost like the "you can't see me" hand wave, but just like by his forehead. Like you should stay here until this kind of calms down some more.
The Pikachu face is given.
Alan, do you have the charm that repairs things?
Ooh, yeah. Well, I don't know what that means. Yeah,
Well,
I think it's
don't-
called crack mending technique.
Yeah, that's the one. You could.
Yeah, I do have crack mending technique.
You might be able to repair the window with that.
Ooh, I'll do that.
But
I'll
like,
just instead of reimbursing, I'll just be
weird,
like,
is
I'll
that
just
like
fix the window.
obvious that you're using essence when you do that?
No, I can do personal modes.
I know, but like, does
There
it
we go.
look normal? Or
The
Oh, well,
lawgiver
I can read it.
can repair even destroyed things. The charm can't restore things that were completely unmade, but it can remake extremely damaged things like shattered crystal. I guess glass would definitely count there. Burnt
Yeah.
paper, splintered wood, and twisted metal. As a solar with the remains of the destroyed object, she may also slowly piece it together with word, touch, and essence. A course of 10 minus essence hours. Ooh.
But
if-
with the addition of craftsman needs their tools, it's reduced to minutes or seconds.
minutes or seconds, yes. And eliminates the need for both. Okay, yeah.
I'll usher them out of the room before I repair the window, but I'll just say like I can fix it for you.
Well, here's a question: is the window out towards like?
I can
The
just gather the
market?
pieces.
Well,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is like, are people going to see you outside?
Oh,
Because of the way the charm works, he actually doesn't even have to. He could basically be at the frame of the window and just start focusing on it, and it'll be almost like rewinding the break.
But
I
yeah,
think
that's what
Radimir's
Rad
worried
is
about is
afraid
People
of.
see
Is it going to be obvious? Yeah.
So-
if people see it, yes.
Okay, so here is my idea, because Alan is not stupid enough to like not see that there are people in the market outside the window and like do it anyway. What would happen if that is the case is Alan would gather the pieces, bring them in the room, and hang some sort of a sheet over
Uh-huh.
the window.
Yeah.
So he can't be seen, and then repair it from within the room.
Now you
know,
said that it's more like a rewind. So like, does that mean all of the glass that shattered outside would just suddenly float up
I
magically?
just told you I'm going to gather it.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
If
Get
he
a
didn't
broom,
gather
my
it, then yes,
dude.
that would happen. Since he's gathering it and bringing it, it would just basically float from whatever he's holding the glass in, and then it would piece together like a puzzle.
Cool.
Yes. That's a good point, though. But yes, I can gather it, bring it all inside so nobody can see, hang a sheet over the window, and fix it.
Oscar, you're being needy.
He's a very needy
Why
puppy.
do you start
Okay.
this when I actually
And I know
start
we
to-
have sheets because I just threw some over Leonir.
Yes, you did. Okay, so you look out the window, just kind of instinctively to assess the damage, and it doesn't look like anyone's awake yet.
Oh, cool.
The streets are pretty much empty.
Quick,
Okay.
do it now.
Quick, do it
There's
now.
nobody at the door or anything. I'll just kind of like.
No, I think I'm still gonna play it safe and go gather the
Sure.
stuff. Like, I don't care if nobody's awake, but there's always the off chance that the DM could say, well, somebody 2 blocks away just saw a bunch of glass float up in the air and, like, are really concerned.
I will say that Leonir succeeded on her
The luck roll.
so there is no one who's going to see this happen. No one heard the crash. You guys are
Oh.
good.
Okay, so I can safely repair it right
Everyone's
now,
drunk
Yes.
and nobody's
past
gonna
the
see.
lookout,
Yes.
Apparently.
Okay, well, I guess I will do that since I have been promised by the DM that nobody will see. Okay, so crack mending technique is 10 motes and
Yep.
1 willpower.
Yep.
And then what is craftsman needs no tools? Where is that? Where the fuck is that? Crack mending, shattering grass, flawless handiwork. Craftsman needs no tool is 6 motes. So I'm going to spend 16 motes for your fuck up.
It's not my fault that I went super sand lesbian.
Oh shit.
It's a little bit your fault.
Handless. I only have 13 personal motes.
That's
You
alright.
really
You
are
can, how many
super
motes total is it?
It's 16,
She
so I could
did
spend
the
13 of the
lesbian.
personal
Yeah.
and then 3 from the peripheral.
Yeah, so your brow is
That's what
just
I'm
gonna
gonna-
twinkle a little bit.
Just twinkle a little so like not
Yeah.
obvious I shouldn't put like a hat on or
You-
anything.
You could put a bandana over it and it would block the light.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So I'll do that. So there goes all of my personal motes. Thanks, Leonir, for a fucking window, and then 3
Why are
peripheral.
you guys cackling?
We're losing because
Only one
Leonir is
willpower
a
is
super sand lesbian.
Yeah, I know it's pretty great.
We can't stop laughing over it.
I hate you. I hate all of you.
And lesbian.
I mean, it's true.
It is very true.
He is
You
also
all
a
lose 5
lesbian.
XP.
No, it's so low.
Oh god.
Oh, goodness.
I'm just
Okay,
kidding.
so-
Alright.
I was gonna say, does that count as spending experience?
What?
Like when
If
you
we
'cause
lost
don't-
5.
Yeah,
I
like
would-
because don't you spend experience technically to like craft shit?
Yeah, but you're not gonna lose XP, so that question
Oh
is
no. I
irrelevant.
think no. I think M's talking if I get experience for fixing the window.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
is that
not-
not what M was asking?
No,
But I
it's
get
not
it
what
anyway.
I was asking. It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't,
Wait,
just
okay.
don't worry
What's
about
happening?
it. Don't worry about it.
We're not worrying about it.
Don't worry about it.
But do I get XP? Do I get crafting XP for fixing the window?
Yes, you would get silver XP.
How much?
It's a window and you use 2 charms to do it, so I'm just gonna give you 1.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really small.
Yeah, I figured, but gotta min
Well,
max
no,
where I
I
can.
think actually it would be 5. It would be 5 XP. Get the rules of how that works. Yeah, you would get 5 XP for that
Sweet. Fuck yeah.
because it's considered crafting it. So
Sweet, I crafted a window.
yeah.
Woohoo.
All
Okay,
right.
well, Windows fixed. Nobody is like concerned because somehow we got super lucky and nobody noticed anything.
Everyone is drunk asleep.
Okay,
Even the
so
children.
drunk asleep.
God.
So Alan just takes and like Radomir is there, so he sees this. Alan just takes like a super deep breath and just lets out like a super big sigh. Like he was stressed the fuck out about that.
And after all of that passes, your brow stops twinkling, and Leonir, you are completely muted. Your
Yay.
anima is completely muted.
Yay!
Alan's just like on the floor in the fetal position when they all come back into the room. Radomir just kind of shrugs.
I don't know.
I don't know
Radomir will
what's
just like
going on.
pat you on the shoulder.
Alan shakes harder.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. He's not that bad.
All right, what do you guys do?
Well, I guess now that we're all awake.
Yeah, so when Leonir comes, or when Leonir stops fucking glowing, does Leonir and Whisper come back out of the forge? Can you come out of the forge without me? Like,
I don't know.
I would imagine so. I
Yes,
don't
people
think
can
it would-
leave if you let them in willingly. You can, yeah.
okay, cool. So do you guys come out after Leonir stops twinkling, or do you guys just like
Yes.
sit in there?
No. Actually,
Okay.
no. Leonir would probably sit in there because she was told to sit in there.
Okay, yeah, I figured I
She's
didn't
kinda like a
explicitly.
puppy. She's just
Yeah.
like, I guess I was put on timeout.
Yeah, I figured I didn't explicitly tell you to come out if it stopped twinkling, so that's kind of why I was asking. So after fixing the window and realizing that nobody is like knocking down their door or like nobody saw, Alan will go back into the forge to relay info. What does Radomir do?
I mean, I'll follow for now.
For now, dun dun dun.
Well, I gotta go spread some rumors.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
No one is
But
awake.
nobody's awake
No
yet.
one's awake. No one's awake, so I have nothing
Okay.
to do at the moment.
So Alan goes into the forge, goes over to wherever Whisper and Leo are, and is like, kind of another big sigh is like, well, it doesn't look like anybody noticed anything. I think they're all surprisingly still asleep. So the window's fixed. I was able to handle that. And so I think we should be good to resume normal operations as long as this doesn't happen again. Here's a question though. Is Alan, well, I guess Alan isn't really aware of the whole like dawn cast, night cast thing, so he's probably still not entirely sure why Leo like flared up. I was wondering if maybe he could put 2 and 2 together that Leonir flared up because it was dawn, but I don't know if
I will
Leo or
allow
Alan has
you
info.
to make an intelligence and occult roll, and I will allow you to have your specialty on how essence works.
Woohoo! Cool. Okay, so int is 5, occult is 1, so that's 6, and then but my specialty makes it 7. So that's 7 dice.
Oscar, what the fuck? Oscar, come here. Dad is DMing.
They all want to play because we're not paying attention to them now.
Yep.
So I got a 1, 2, 3.
Three successes? Okay, so on your travels there, Leonir was practicing a lot on the trip. To the point where Leonir kind of drowned people out because she was so focused in her training. And you're pretty sure that basically what happened is she something, because this is the second time you've seen her twinkle at
Yeah,
not just the second time, you would have seen it every day.
a couple of times.
so probably a few times throughout the travels. You're pretty sure that from the surge of essence that exploded out from her, the time of day had something to do with it, and she basically achieved like a step closer to spiritual enlightenment. She increased
Okay.
her personal essence.
Gotcha. Okay, let me note this down real quick.
SSJ1 achieved.
Soon I will be over 9,000 power level.
Oh, you already are. Kai, freaking Goku was over 9,000 before he hit Super Saiyan.
Yup.
Oh yeah.
I have a puppy loaf.
Okay, just a few more notes.
But I was working on stuff.
I know.
Puppy.
Okay. Cool. No, that's actually very helpful. Okay, Alan will now impart his wisdom, his knowledge
And
onto.
you are starting to see that pattern amongst all of you, because you've been traveling with them for so long that you have noticed the time of day affecting when the banner kind of goes off.
Well, and would I see it in myself too? I would assume.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I would be noticing. Okay.
Will we see it for the eclipse though?
Yes. Oh no. The eclipse has not twinkled at all throughout the time.
So
of
and
day.
that's Mela, right?
Yep.
Mela's the eclipse,
Yeah,
and I just haven't seen it. Okay. So I do have this connection that we have some sort of connection to the sun. And like the time of
And
the time of day and stuff.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So I will sort of relay this. So Alan kind of more looking at Leonir, but obviously everybody else is around so they can hear what he's saying. I'm also pretty certain that this has to do with the time of day. I don't know if you guys have all noticed this, but we all twinkle, does air quotes when he says that. We all twinkle at particular times of day. Leonir, we can see the mark in the morning, and everybody else, so on and so forth. I don't remember it all.
Whisper at noon.
Yeah. Whisper
And
at midday. Me right before nighttime, and then Radomir at night. The only one we haven't seen is Mela, so I'm not still certain what's going on with that, but I'm still pretty sure it's probably connected to the solar patterns in some regard.
You see Mela actually makes a gesture, and she holds up.
I know sign language this
no
time.
sign language, so you know she's saying during the eclipse.
Well, Mela just informed me that she will apparently glow during an eclipse.
And she nods.
So I guess that settles that mystery, at least. We can mark that one off. So I think we all need to be very mindful, and start making sure that maybe we're covered or in a safe spot during those specific times. Leonir,
Radomir kind of pops up and he says, "I have a solution." So he goes back to their room, and starts raffling through clothes.
Oh no.
okay, so Alan kind of looks at Radomir go off and pauses for a second, then turns back to everybody and is like, Leonir, that still, as I'm sure you can tell, doesn't really explain why this was such a large blast of energy, but I assume it has something to do with how intense your training was on our journey. I think you've reached does air quotes again, the next level, so to speak, of, whatever our powers are.
Real quick, Radomir pops back in, like, shoves his head through the door and, like, looks at Alan and says, "Do you happen to have any goggles?"
Yes, you have
There's, like,
goggles.
In the forge, there's like a huge rack of like 50 pairs of goggles.
Okay, good.
Like, I'm
So
just gonna
you're-
claim that one.
Yeah.
And Alan just like
Do that
gestures
then.
like right over there.
Okay, so then Radomir will come back, wearing a circlet over his forehead. He'll kind of look at Whisper, kind of say, well, you kind of already cover yourself anyway, so we don't really need to worry about you. Looks at Mela and says, yours is very seldom, so I'm not really going to worry about you just yet. And then he hands Leonir a forehead scarf that wraps it specifically for, like, you know, your head to hold back hair.
Oh, a forehead
And
scarf
it's-
is for your head? Wow.
For, like, the hold back hair, I specifically said.
I
But it's not like super flashy or, like, you know, tacky. It's very tasteful, but it definitely looks like it came from money.
Yeah, if
Okay.
anyone can pull off something that goes with your outfits, it's Radomir.
Yeah, no, he's definitely making sure that it's not going to look like weird and out of place.
Yep. I'm gonna have you make a larceny roll just to cover everyone's basically
Okay. Well,
garments.
it's kind of okay. I was just gonna say, like, if Alan wants to choose a pair of goggles.
Oh, yeah.
will help
Fuck yeah, I'm gonna
determine
do that.
where you need to cover. So you said a larceny roll.
Yep, just a larceny roll.
Dex.
Yes, because yes, Dex and
Okay.
Dex and larceny.
I have 2 puppies in my lap and I can't reach my mouse.
Well, no, it says you don't feel anything. That's fine. Okay, let's see. I got 2, 4, 5. I got 6 successes.
Okay, yeah. That's a legendary success. These are good. These are like perfect to hide over your cast marks if they twinkle.
Oh yeah.
So that will not be something that I'll suddenly call you on at different times of day now. You guys basically have it covered.
Ellie, that's my thumb.
Is she chewing on it?
Yep.
Yes.
No biting. Don't give me the teethers. Alright, so you guys got stuff to cover your cast marks for when they glow throughout the day. And the window is repaired. Leonir, apparently you have reached the next level. What do you guys do?
I really love how Alan put it like that.
Adam
The next level.
Adam comments, puppies don't need thumbs, why do people?
That's a good point.
Because we are the ones that feed the puppy dog, so we usually need thumbs to do that.
I like playing video games, I need my thumbs for that.
Yeah, me too.
Mhm.
Alright, so what do you guys do?
Well, I mean, I don't specifically have anything to do until the townspeople are awake. Though I guess I could probably. Well, no, that wouldn't be a good idea.
We could all just chit chat and get to know each other better until the townspeople wake up.
I guess we could do that. I was also going to suggest maybe we should start grabbing the supplies we need to for
Yeah.
the next day.
Yeah, we did have a plan the night before as to what everybody was gonna do, so people could break off and start accomplishing those tasks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that what we all want to do?
Would we rather do that, or do we want to gossip?
Yeah, I mean, Alan doesn't have anything specific to say. He's already said it all.
Shocking.
I know.
Yeah. Shocking.
Well, Leonir, I think that scarf looks rather dashing on you.
Pikachu
Okay.
face.
Pikachu face.
I mean, I can make up things for Alan to say if you all want, but
Small
Trust
talk
me, I got
commences
talent for it.
until small talk
Oh, no.
commences until the town wakes up.
Alan says that, and Radomir says, "What about me? Do I look dashing?"
Alan
Wow,
blushes and
jealous.
just is like, yeah,
No, it's
yes, of course.
Mostly just to get a reaction out of
Well,
it.
yeah, so Alan blushes a little bit and is like, well, I mean, you've always looked rather dashing.
Ooh.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yay.
Gay!
Kind of just like leans over to whisper. Do they need a room?
We have a room.
They have one.
Yeah, it's next door. You just see Mela just kind of making this gesture to you, Alan. I am confused.
Oh, that's what Mela said to me.
Yes.
Alan just kind of shrugs and says, I don't think I really get it either.
Oh my god, Leo is less innocent than all of you.
All right, so what do you guys do?
I guess we chit
Alan
chat
sits there and twiddles his thumbs for hours.
hours.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm exaggerating.
Jesus.
Why do you
Yeah, I
guys
guess we
have
could
to get all
chit-chat.
hyped up while? How did you find another duck? Drop it. Oh my god, dude. Can you put that somewhere? they know we're happy and we're laughing, so they're excited and want to play.
Right. So they're looking for all of their squeaky toys.
And now that we're taking them away, they're like, you guys are assholes. Okay, so the town wakes up. You guys get breakfast. You guys do your daily routines. Get yourself all prettified. And basically you can hear the sounds of the bustling town outside. What do you guys do?
Radomir is off.
What is Radomir doing?
I'm gonna go fucking spread some rumors. He's gonna dress a little less flashy this time.
Sure.
Maybe put his hair up, wear a hat so his hair isn't so obvious.
It's more like you're going for more of an innocuous sort of look. Yeah,
I'm
okay.
definitely trying to blend in this time. And he's going to kind of like just mosey around, kind of check into groups and kind of like mention to like merchants and like bartenders or like the market stands.
Sure.
And like mention like, oh, I heard there's something that's supposed to happen tomorrow. Something about an old an old ceremony that used to happen. There some townspeople are wanting to what's the word?
Revive.
Yeah, revive it
Okay, so
regarding that old tree.
are you basically trying to make yourself appear like as if you're one of the locals?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna make you roll either roll appearance in larceny or dex in larceny, whichever is better for you. And it's gonna be a higher difficulty because this is a small town and everyone pretty much knows everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, I could at least maybe look like a merchant, like that's passing
Well,
through.
see how you roll, cause people
Okay.
might think, hey, yeah, you're that guy.
That guy.
You're that guy that
I'll
we
go ahead
barely
and-
see, but we know him.
Let's see. I'll go ahead and spend some. Oh, I'm like. Let's think here. 1, 2. I'll double that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Flag. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
Okay, so 7 successes. Basically, the person that you first go up to, we'll say it's an elderly man, like
Mhm.
probably 70, 80 years old. He's been there a long time, and he looks at you, kind of up and down, and goes, "Hi, you're Margie's kid, aren't you?"
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Well,
I'm
let me look at my
sorry.
socialized charms.
I'm so
going.
sorry about your loss. She was quite a fine lady.
Oh, that's okay.
Well, welcome back.
Do you
to
have the hots
town.
for
You
Margie,
have
old
been
man?
gone- You have been gone for quite some time.
I missed the charming air here. Can't stay long. Can't stay gone for very long, can ya?
So what can I help you for?
I just wanted to. I wasn't sure if you heard, but I heard a rumor that there's a group of locals that are trying to revive a cultural thing out in the plaza, or what is it, like a plaza or was it like a town hall?
It was a town hall.
Town hall.
Okay, out in town hall where that big tree is, that dead tree. Something about planting flowers.
I haven't seen that festival be run in this town for over 50 years.
Well, someone seemed to have some interest in it.
Well, I mean, honestly, you could just be like, since you were gone for years, quote unquote, you could be like, yeah, like, why isn't everybody getting prepped for the ceremony? Like, what's going on?
Yeah,
But it's a little late for that because you already
That's
talked
fine.
to him.
I mean, I can do that to somebody else.
So
You
they're
could.
trying to revive the festival.
Yeah,
Goddess will smile upon.
I hope so.
However, there are those who will not smile at all.
What do you mean?
Should the dragon-blooded return and find out that we are back to worshipping her, I dare not even say her name, then we will feel the wrath.
Perhaps we can do it a bit more discreetly this time.
Greatly.
Maybe,
How do you mean?
Yeah. you know, how are the dragon-blooded going to know if they don't see anything?
That is true, but can you really trust everyone?
Hmm. Everyone knows each other here, right?
Well,
Everyone's got each other's backs.
I knew you.
Ah.
But I suppose you're right. Well, if they're gonna be reviving the ritual, you can damn well be sure I'll be.
I can't wait to see you there.
You were so small when I last saw you. He gives you a pat on the back.
I'm like
Welcome
6
back.
feet fucking tall.
He's like pushing 5 because he's
Oh my god.
he's like
He's old.
his
he's struggling.
bones have kind of he's like his posture's all fucked up, and he kind of he kind of steps away with more of a pep about him. Like he seems genuinely excited to hear that
That's
this
good. Yeah,
festival's
good.
returning. And
Make sure you tell everyone you know.
I was just about to say, you actually see him go up to somebody and say, "Did you hear the festival's returning?" And
Yes,
they
that's
start
what I
talking
wanted.
about it.
Like rub
Um,
my hands together mischievously. Well, stay young, you hear? And then I'll walk away.
I'm not too old to take you over my knee, you damn whippersnapper.
I'll wave him off and then walk away.
You hear him chuckling in the background, and he continues talking to people. So that
Yeah.
was a legendary. That was one more than a legendary success. You
Heck yeah.
you can keep talking to people and spreading it if you want, but what you just did was sufficient. You spoke with the right person. Like
Cool.
somebody who not only knew about the festival, but somebody who's been there a long time and someone the community respects. So,
Fantastic.
do you want to keep
Actually, it
spreading
ended up being
rumors,
the
or-
mayor. I'll just kind of I'll walk through the market and
Sure.
just kind of like, I'll just buy some stuff here and there, grab a snack, and be like, hey, you heard about that festival?
Yeah, so you're basically doing that for the next few hours, and about an hour and a half, 2 hours later, you see someone, a little kid, probably 8 or 9 years old, cute as a button, just walks up to you and tugs on your garments.
What can I do for you?
She just smiles and she hands you a sack of something,
Hmm?
and just hands it to you without a word, and just kind of scurries off
poison.
giggling.
I look inside, very confused.
Seeds.
Penis.
There are seeds
what?
inside of the bag.
Ooh. That's exciting.
And you're getting the idea that was like basically her saying this is for tomorrow. So the rumors have gotten back to you.
Fantastic.
All right,
That's what I
so
wanted.
in that 2 hour span, what is everybody else doing?
I believe the plan was that Whisper was supposed to just kind of be getting ready for whatever Whisper is going to have to do.
Whisper
that-
is internally screaming.
Meditate!
Kai is internally
Meditate!
screaming.
And then, yeah, and then I think Mela, Leonir, and Alan were going to go collect seeds and stuff. Leonir was going to teach us how to forage.
Yeah.
And we were going to like gather seeds for people that might not have any, so that we can provide them to the people who show up to the festival.
Does anybody have the goddess's name written down still? Because I can't find it in
Yes.
my notes.
I do. Yes.
It's
Yes.
somewhere.
Can you just throw it into the Exalted chat so I can jog my memory?
Yeah, the spirit of the rain danced oak.
Yep,
Yes,
Yuri
yes.
Motia.
Yuri
Here's
Motia,
the
that's right.
entire thing.
Spirit of the Rain Dance, though. Okay, excellent.
And for those in the chat,
Excellent.
it
All right.
has been posted.
Okay, so Kai, Whisperer of Lost Sands. You are where would you be going to kind of, you know, collect yourself and prep yourself for this kind of thing?
See, I said that Whisperer was probably going to meditate, but then I remembered the first session where Whisperer couldn't sit still to save their life.
That's fair.
Okay, so what are you doing then?
They'll go to the tree because the tree is going to be the center of the festival thingy
Sure.
thing tomorrow.
Sure. So for visuals, the way the town hall is set up, you guys have played like Assassin's Creed and stuff like that, so you know like those enclosed buildings that have like, rather than walls, it's more columns. So
Yeah.
like you can see like what's going on in the streets from the inside of the town hall. Is basically what I'm getting at. So people, like, it can hold probably a good 50, 60 people. Probably double that if everyone was clustered together. But people outside could also see what was going on inside, even if they were in the town hall.
I can't remember what the structure is called, but it's a Roman structure of it's basically like a place of meeting, where it's basically what you described, but I'm trying to like figure out what the actual name is. 'Cause it's a
Right.
Roman
Yeah, I
structure.
can't remember what it's called for the life of me. But basically, picture that, because I think you're thinking the same thing I am.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Forum?
a forum? I
Oh,
think
yeah,
you're
I
right.
think it is
I
a
think that's
forum.
what it is. Yes. Yep, a forum.
Yep.
Yep, it's a forum.
So basically, you go into that area where the tree is in the center, and you notice today it's looking better than it was. And you actually, as you're approaching, you actually see another flower bloom slowly in front of you. And you didn't do any prayer just now.
Nope, no, I did not.
So, what do you do?
Oh.
Whisperer is probably going to try to sit and gather their thoughts. Keyword there being try.
Okay.
Ponder things.
Hunter things.
Debate if it would be disrespectful to climb the tree. Ponder more things.
Okay.
Scribble down ideas on a piece of paper.
All right. So you're
Don't-
just basically prepping yourself. Nothing
Yeah.
like particular.
Nope.
Okay.
Nothing in particular.
So while this
Did
is
you-
going on,
Whisper.
Here, can I say something real quick?
sure.
Yep.
Did you buy some, or did you borrow some high quality stationery from Alan?
Maybe.
Cool.
All right. So Leonir, during this what are you doing?
Probably going and getting like flower seeds and stuff like
Cool.
that, and like listening to if the rumors are spreading and whatnot. But
You notice that when you're around, people kind of know that you're an outsider. So they kind of don't say a whole lot, but there are a few times where you can kind of hear people talking about something, and then they see you're coming and they kind of hush up. But yes, you get the idea that they're talking about the festival.
Good. At least they're being safe. I'm glad that they listened to me.
nice.
So that's what you're pretty much doing, is gathering like seeds, flowers, checking, make sure. Is there anything else in particular that you're doing in that couple hours?
I don't think so, because I feel like she would be very like single set
Sure.
on doing something.
Okay. Alan, what are you doing in the meantime?
That is actually a good question. So I remember we did talk last night, the characters did, and kind of said that, Whisper will prep for whatever Whisper has to do, and Radomir was going to spread rumors. Everybody else, and the plan was pretty much left to gather seeds. But I mean, I was in the town hall, right? So I know what it looks like, and I know that it's pretty open.
Yes.
Um, so if maybe we wanted to be a little more secretive, Alan could think about ways to tastefully obstruct the view of the inside of the town hall. With like big like draperies and pretty fabrics and stuff kind of hanging between the pillars, and making it look all cool.
Okay.
So that way people could maybe come in, and not to mention, so they're going to have to plant the seeds in something. I'm sure some people will plant in the gardens that are in the town hall, but I mean, were there a lot of like vases and garden boxes in there?
There are quite a few, but like if everyone wanted to plant something, there wouldn't be enough room for everybody.
Yeah, so I think Alan would probably actually spend his time, and he would have informed like Leonir and anybody else of this before they all really left. But he's actually going to spend his time, like I said, drawing up plans and creating structure to sort of obscure what's going on inside of the town hall, and then also create a lot of like very small like little pots or things for people to plant flowers in that they can just kind of place around.
Now, where are you doing this? Are you doing this right in the forum, or are you doing
No,
this in
I
your
would-
room or in the forge?
I would be doing it in the forge, so I would
Okay.
kind of, I would draw up from what I remember of the forum. I'm assuming Alan probably has a pretty impeccable mind for looking at structure and being able to recall it.
Sure.
Also, here's a curious thing. Would Alan be able to look at something and be able to tell like the measurements of it? So say how big the space was between the two
Yes.
columns, or would that?
Yes.
Okay. So I would be able to draw up some very accurate plans of the
Oh,
dimensions.
absolutely. Like,
Yes.
that would be a perception and craft roll, but like you would need one success. You're exalted, you fucking know. So I'm not even
Okay.
gonna make you roll. You know the dimensions of
Okay,
the
so yeah.
forum.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Go ahead.
well, that's what he does. I already said.
Okay.
I already basically said it.
So Alan, I'm gonna have you make an intelligence and craft roll. Leonir, I'm gonna have you make an intelligence and survival roll. And Kai, I am going to have you Whisper. I'm gonna have you make a willpower roll.
Oh,
Should
no.
I use my foraging survival
Yes,
specialty?
absolutely.
I'm assuming that my craft machines doesn't really come into play because these aren't machines,
Yeah,
right?
that is correct.
Cool. Okay, I just wanted to double check. I'm gonna try to
Ew.
squeeze every die I
Give me
can.
that dice! No,
Okay.
dice, come back!
So Whisper, you're feeling a little jittery, but after spending some time with the oak, seeing the flower bloom, you're feeling a little bit more calm than you originally were. Like, you can do this. This is what you were meant to do.
I got 3 successes.
3 successes? You get enough for the rest of the town.
Nice.
I got
Two,
1,
three,
2,
four,
3, 4, 5.
Okay, yeah, so you'll have enough. Basically, the, anything that, like, there was already about enough for half the town to place it right in the forum with what's there for planters, what's there for around the tree, and things like that, the ground around it and whatnot. You were able to make enough flower pots and draperies and things like that for the rest of it, so you're good to go.
Sweet.
Okay, so you're all pretty much prepared at this point. You all rendezvous. Where would you guys rendezvous at this point?
I think the idea would probably be to maybe rendezvous around Whisperer, since they
Yeah.
kind of have like the hardest job in my mind.
I mean, to be fair, we're not doing it till the next day, but
Yeah,
Right,
we could
so
just.
I
Well,
would
yeah.
imagine the in
Maybe
room.
we'll do it. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably actually fair.
All right, so all of you are kind of coming back to the inn room at this time, and you see Mela is playing with a bunch of other kids in the town, and she is giving the kids like rides on Kitty, and they're all taking turns, kind of playing around, chasing each other, playing tag, and it's a little refreshing after what you've gone through with Mela so far, just seeing her act like a kid, and she looks
Yeah.
genuinely happy.
Can I just
yes,
say that
good.
playing tag with a rhino sounds terrifying?
They're not playing tag with the rhino.
The rhino is an obstacle. You may hide behind her.
But you all rendezvous after that, and so you guys are all together again. What do you guys do?
Well, I think our job here for today is done. Time to relax until
Yeah, what time
tomorrow
is it?
morning.
We'll say by the time all of this is said and done, it is like early afternoon.
Do I get crafting experience for making the pots and drapes?
Yeah, I'll give you. How many successes did you get?
5.
I'll give you 5. I'll give you 5 experience then.
Silver?
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm gonna start remembering to do that.
Yeah, no, that squeeze out as much as you can, for real. Alright, I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break, and
How
I'll be
dare.
right back.
How
Dare you?
Oh, I dare.
Super Saiyan lesbian.
That is
Jesus
fantastic.
Christ.
I'm so fucking happy about that.
That's so fucking funny. Catch up on my notes.
It's bad because when I originally said that, I was like halfway eating a donut, and I just almost started choking because I started laughing.
Good. Well, not good that you choked, but you
I'm
know
gonna
what
die
I mean.
on a donut.
I'm glad you're choking, Sig.
No, if you were to choke on anything and die, a donut would probably be the most.
That's fair.
I don't want to.
I know what you mean, but that's fair. I do like donuts a lot.
Donuts are fucking
Jesus
fantastic.
Christ. I don't know what
Sig
I
would die
missed. I
happy.
just came back to people choking on donuts.
Yeah, we're talking about choking. It's fine.
It's fine. Donuts have holes in them, so you can't choke on them.
Not all donuts have holes in them. Just because donut holes are called donut holes does not mean there's a hole in them.
Well, and like nobody swallows a whole donut anyway.
Are you sure about
But
that?
I have
Well.
mini donuts.
Oh, the mini donuts? Oh. Mini donuts kind of pucker up like a butthole.
What the fuck? I gotta get back because this is going crazy places.
You left us alone, Dave.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
I left you guys unsupervised.
For 30 seconds.
Oh god.
Okay, so do you want to lapse to the next day, or is there anything else that you guys want to get done?
Yeah,
Let
we
me
can probably
think for a
just
second.
hang out, enjoy the day, blah blah blah,
What
eat
the
food.
fuck, sour cream donut?
What?
Yeah. You never heard of sour cream donuts?
No.
No.
Sounds gross.
They're good. They're
Where
actually
are you
it's
guys
well,
talking
it's
about that?
it's
What?
like sour cream. Yeah.
Oh, I can go
It's
for
kinda
sour cream
like
donut.
using cream cheese, but
I
instead you use
love
cream.
sour cream, but I'm not sure about a sour
It-
cream donut.
It gives it like you know how cream cheese has like a pungent
Oh.
taste.
It's
It's
like
kinda
it's not
like
like
that.
it's not like a frosted with it's not like a donut
Yeah.
frosted with sour cream, which is kind of what I thought it was,
It's
but it's
made
like
out of it. It's
a
like baked
donut that
into
has
it.
sour cream in it.
Yeah, they're really
Yeah,
good.
it's like baked
That's
with it. So that sounds
interesting.
good.
They're very flavorful. They're yummy.
That does sound good. But like I thought you were talking about dipping a donut in sour cream,
no.
and I was like, what the fuck?
God.
Like, that just sounds not good.
Oh.
And don't get me wrong, like I also love sour cream, but like, holy fuck.
Sorry, I'm munching.
That's
me
fine.
too.
I've got munchies too. I'm so glad we got snacks because normally I just like sit here and I have like nothing to do. Like when other people are talking, I'm just literally like going back and forth. But snacks kind of keep me occupied, which is probably
Right.
bad. But you know, whatever.
I've kind of been spreading on and off.
Oh,
so I
I do have
Was
something
that
I want to do.
What the fuck? You made the shark?
Yeah.
I love it.
I do actually have one more thing to do before we elapse to the next day. I want to
Okay.
see if the guild came into town.
Roll a luck die for me.
Okay. I almost just reached for like real dice in real life. I don't know why I did that. Excuse me. Roll. Oh, I have to highlight it. I rolled a 5.
Unfortunately, they're not here today.
Of course. Bitch. Okay.
I mean, that might be a good thing.
Yeah. I actually kind of want to use my. It's fine. We'll worry about it later.
Use your thing that you do to see the thing that of things.
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's fine.
Are you using your senses?
No, I don't think you understood what I was saying.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about a thing that you did that you told me about in the thing
Oh. Wait.
for the thingy of the thing with the
You're
thing.
talking about the thing I DM'd you about?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, actually I would try to maybe see if there's like, I don't know if there's like a mail, like a post place or anything, like a post office.
Office. What?
I don't know, like maybe I got a response. I don't
Maybe
fucking know.
we're not talking about. Oh. Okay, so you're seeing like if maybe you were sent a message. No, you were not.
Okay, well that's fine.
Okay, but you're not gonna try to do anything else. You're not gonna try to do it again or anything.
No.
I know everyone else is probably like, "What the fuck are they talking about?"
No, I'm not gonna try to do it again.
Okay.
No. But like before we lapse, Radomir will definitely mention like we should get up early, and that way we can set shit up before everyone's fucking awake, since it's obvious that everyone in this entire town seems to have the same fucking bedtime and awake time.
That's fair.
As weird as that is, it kind of helps us out.
Okay, so I'll say unless anybody else has anything else to do, we'll lapse to the next day.
Yep,
Okay.
I can't think of anything Alan would want to do.
Okay, so you guys sleep a lot more comfortably than you did last night. You are not awoken by a surge of energy. There's no
Fantastic.
explosion. But
No more window fixing.
You guys do go to bed a little bit early that night. That way you wake up a little bit earlier. And it is just before dawn, so it's still a little bit dark outside.
I'm not twinkling.
Not yet. Okay.
Not yet.
You guys all converge?
Yeah.
What do you guys do?
I feel like Alan needs help. No, because he could
Alan is
technically
gonna-
take the forge with him.
Yeah, I can.
We wouldn't
No,
really
Alan-
need to help him carry all the pots.
Alan was actually going to ask Mela if he could have Kitty's help with the transport.
She
enough.
sides absolutely.
Awesome.
Boop. So we can get up early, go down to the town hall, get set up, hang up the curtains and shit.
Okay, so you set up. How exactly do you set it up, Alan? Like, what is your vision here?
Okay, so there are going to be drapes pretty much like almost down to the ground between, the space between each of the pillars.
Mhm.
But on the outside of the forum, there's also going to be, the band, like there's going to be kind of drapes sort of like strung up like on like in arches that kind of like connect to the different pillars. And it's going to be really flowy and really cool and awesome. And probably like, did I pick up any sort of like a color scheme for the village at all? Like, are there specific colors that they like to have in like their logos and stuff like that?
It's kind of earthy, very wood sort of
Okay.
elemental,
Yeah,
which makes sense
so-
for the goddess as well.
Right, yeah. So browns and greens, pretty vibrant, pretty good colors. So like nice deep browns and maybe some
What color
deep greens.
is the tree flowering?
The tree is
Yeah.
flowering, like blue, bluish and like purplish sort of flowers.
Okay, so it'd be accents with that. So mainly like deep browns and greens, but with accents of like blue and purple kind of around. So that's kind of to obscure the view, and then Alan is how to set the pots up.
Could try to do it in like a maybe a spiral, kind of. Maybe?
Yeah, maybe put
Yeah,
like a big.
around the tree.
Yeah, that could be cool, and then people could just sort of walk into the spiral and like stop at like the pot that they like end up in front of and planting that. Yeah, let's do that. So I'll set the pots on the ground. It's kind of in like this large spiral fashion for people to be able to kind of file into the spiral. And then once the person who gets to the middle is in the middle, they all kind of like stop and fill up the spiral, and there will be a pot in front of each of them that they can put a seed in.
Okay, awesome.
And I'm assuming there'll kind of be like maybe a container, a bucket of seeds or something sort of at the beginning of the spiral for everybody to like take one or a couple or however many before they enter, so that they'll have the seed by the time that they plant.
Okay, so you get all of it pretty much set up when you see someone um, kind of like part one of the curtains and steps in, just kind of looks around, and it's um, an adult male, probably like 17, 18 years old. Um, and he's just kind of looking around, and his eyes are like wide open.
Oh, just so you know, I'm not dressed up as I was yesterday. That way, the old man doesn't recognize me,
Okay,
or like really anybody.
That's fair. Yep. Sorry, I'm munching. And so he steps in, and his eyes look like bewildered, and you see him looking around, and he speaks up, looking to the nearest person, whoever that would be, and he basically says, "This is really happening."
Are you afraid?
I mean, I would be lying if part of me wasn't. But I'm also, I don't know, excited. Like I feel like this is how it's supposed to be.
'Cause it is.
I've heard tales when I was a kid. Small child, my grandfather would tell me stories of the goddess and her offerings, and how she would protect our walls, and, well, figurative walls, I guess, since we're
Well-
more open than a book.
Believe it or not, she still is. At least she's trying.
You have no idea how much I want to believe that.
Well, you better start believing. Radomir will give him a wink.
Yeah, he offers a smile, and he goes to a pillar and just kind of leans up against it.
Cool.
And one by one, people begin to kind of come in. And like I said, this is a small town, so there's probably only about 50, 60 people or so.
Yeah. So they all can
Mhm.
fit in here.
And eventually you have pretty much the entire town in this small little forum. And everyone's looking around and smiling, and they're like waiting for something. Like, they don't exactly know what to do, but they know it's supposed to be here. What do you guys do?
Real quick, can I just say maybe I brought like some kind of instrument with me?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. I'll bring like a medium size, not a medium sized harp, but like, you know what I mean, a portable harp, but not the teeny tiny kind.
Sure.
It's time to be a bard.
Yes. I'm gonna start playing some like calm and gentle music.
I might have a track for that.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So whenever that gets set up, I think I would kind of, like, unless Whisper sort of takes the reins themselves, Alan would kind of like give a nod or signal to sort of say like, now's the time.
Perfect.
But that's if Whisper doesn't like, catch on and like do it themselves.
Whisper is still internally screaming.
The music is for stay calm. Listen to the harp music.
Some of the people actually join in with you while you're playing.
Perfect.
Some people
I'll play
bring,
something
like,
that's
flutes.
Yeah.
Some people bring like stringed instruments, violas, and some of them even drums. And you have us by the end of it, you have a small little band playing music in the background.
Ooh.
All right, the Whisper. What do you do?
Hide.
Hide.
Whisper is going to attempt to appear very calm and sure of themselves and not want to hide.
All right.
Um,
You notice that there are a lot of people here, and you're fairly small. So
Uh-huh.
people kind of don't. They kind of gloss over you, not out of disrespect or patronization or anything, so you don't limit
Right.
from this. But generally, there's just a lot of people. So, do you do anything particular to get their attention?
just imagining Whisper just going, why am I so short? Why is everyone so tall?
Right.
We should have made a podium.
We should have made a podium.
We'll
I
say
thought
that
about
you
it, but-
made a podium.
Okay, we now have
Well,
a
Alan
podium.
did.
There's
We'll
a
say
podium.
Alan made a podium.
Yay.
Because, I mean, it makes sense. He knew that
Mhm.
Whisperer was going to be saying a few words.
Yes.
So Whisper is going to get up on said podium and just kind of look around, take a deep breath, and try not to panic.
Radomir will like kind of quiet himself and hope that everyone else quiets their music.
Yeah, they will basically stop playing at your cue, and they kind of look around. They're not really looking towards Whisperer right now, because Whisperer hasn't done anything to attract anyone's attention.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But they are basically, they have stopped. They get a feeling something's going to be happening soon.
Good.
No pressure.
I know you were stepping outside of your comfort zone as a player here, so
I am.
don't worry, take your time.
Breath.
Gives you my chaplain vibes. For I have bullshit my way through many speeches, despite hating public speaking.
I hate public.
Oh yes,
Same.
I know. Same.
Okay. So Whisper is going to simultaneously activate 3 charms.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Peripheral or personal?
Personal.
Okay.
So it's 2 performance charms and an excellency.
Okay.
So
And only, are any of them simples?
nope, they're all supplemental.
They're all supplemental, all right, and they're all they're all supplementing performance.
Yep.
Okay, go for it.
We established that people were taking seeds as they came in, right?
Well, there's not really seats. There are a few benches, so like.
Seeds. Flower
Oh,
seeds.
seeds. I
So-
apologize. Yes, I'll say that
Yeah.
people have been basically being handed out small like plants in like like how you see bunched up like ready to plant flowers and things like that, where they're
Mhm.
out of the pots and they have a clump of dirt with the roots
Right.
in them, so they can just plant it, and seeds and other things. But yes, everyone in the crowd has been given something to plant.
Okay. Why did I turn off my cell phone that has my notes?
What charms are you activating?
So I have respect, commanding attitude,
Okay.
which means they have to listen to me.
Yep. They don't have to agree with you, but they do have to pay attention to you.
Masterful performance exercise. So if I roll, I get to re-roll 1.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
I also get 1 automatic success.
Awesome. Okay.
And then it's 4 motes to an excellency, so an extra 4 dice.
So basically, as you climb up on the podium, you instinctively channel respect commanding attitude, and without saying a word, everyone in the crowd just looks to you, and you feel that sort of like, oh god, everyone's paying attention to me sort of thing. But then you also feel this comfort over you, like this is what I'm supposed to do. Like there's this presence that's kind of helping you with this, and you're not sure what it is, but it feels familiar.
Deep breath. And then Whisperer will start talking. Very like quiet and a little unsure at first, because public speaking around everybody that's fucking twice her height. We all have our roots, drawing from the river of life so we may grow in character. Our roots may be simple and unbranching things, or as tangled and as treacherous as a briar patch. While there are those who may try to prune us, force us to grow in ways they wish, so long as we draw strength from our roots, we are capable of persevering. And when we neglect our roots or forget them entirely, we risk doing so to ourselves. Uramotia, the spirit of the rain-danced oak, has watched over this area since her sapling took root here. The town then took root around her, and she has blessed it with peace and comfort through countless years. We plant these flowers as symbolic reminders that our roots are entwined with hers, and thank her for her blessings. And that's it. That's all I got.
All right. So as you do that, basically, do you plant the first?
Yes.
Okay, so you walk over to the base of the tree, and you plant the first. Would you have a seed, or would you have like a plant already?
They would use a seed.
Okay, so you plant a seed, and people are watching, and they're basically looking at you as you're doing this. And I'm going to give you a level 3 stunt. That was very well worded, and for stepping outside of your comfort zone. A level 3 stunt means that not only do you get 4 extra dice, you get a willpower back if you happen to spend one, and you get an...
Can I spend one?
Yes, and you get an instant XP, which means everybody gets an instant XP point.
Oh, sweet.
Woot,
Okay.
woot.
I will write that down.
Just write that down and we'll record it later.
Okay.
So that means you're going to have 4 extra dice, you're going to have 1 extra success, automatic success because of masterful performance exercise. You'll re-roll all ones, and are you doubling your dice pool?
I only had enough personal motes for 4.
4, okay. Do you want to spend peripheral?
No.
Okay. Because you can spend enough that you don't shine through your bandana.
Well, how much would that be then?
As long as you don't spend 5 peripheral.
Okay. And it would be charisma and performance.
Charisma and performance, you will get your specialty since it has to do with gods.
Yep. Okay, so that's another 3 mote. Okay, specialty 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. 3, 1, 3. Lots of dice.
Lots of dice.
It's time to lag.
Yep. Oh shit, that's a lot of
Holy
green.
shit.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reroll that
And
one.
there is one in there, so.
Oh.
Yeah, roll that again. That's cocked.
Okay, let me. There we go.
It's a 6.
6. Okay. So 10 successes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Plus 1 more.
Plus 1 automatic
the
success,
willpower.
plus the willpower. So 12 successes.
Shit.
That's a double legendary. Okay.
I am good at the thing!
So there is silence Um, and it worries you a little bit. Like, did people not hear me? Are they just glazing over what I said? Did I speak for nothing? Did I say what I wanted to correctly? And people are just watching. Um, you notice at that point some of the older people in town have tears in their eyes. And as you pull your hand away from the ground that you have planted the seed in, everyone is looking at the ground, almost like they're hoping for something to happen. And for a while, nothing does. But then there is this greenish sort of aura around the very spot that you planted it, and the earth begins to be disturbed by something. And then you see a little sprout kind of form out, and then it grows higher and higher. A leaf sprouts from the side, and then another one, and then it grows bigger into a fully bloomed flower. And you can see the smile on the people's faces, and the wonder and bewilderment in the children's eyes as they're looking upon this miracle happen right in front of them. And as you do that, another person walks over next to where you planted it and plants theirs. And it does the same thing. It begins to grow and blossom. Another person goes to one of the pots, one of the places that you set up, Alan, and plants their small little sapling, which grows almost instantly into a beautiful looking small tree. And one by one, everyone in the town begins to plant these plants, which all instantly begin to grow. And they all stop after the people, I should say. The people all stop after they are finished planting, and they all just kind of bow their heads with their eyes closed. And there is a glow around the tree, and how it looked kind of sickly, sort of pale, almost like it was in the last years of its life. It feels rejuvenated. It looks more whole than it once was. The leaves begin taking shape, and instead of the greenish sort of dying colors that the leaves were, they begin sprouting those bluish, purplish blossoms throughout them, and the leaves themselves begin to look these vibrant green colors as it just sprouts. And you would swear that the tree has grown about 10 to 15 feet at this presence that is surrounding it. And then it's almost like a ripple effect, like you saw before when the woman entered the tree, except this time a woman exits the tree. You see the old lady again, Yorimotia, and she takes a few steps forward with her cane, and every step she takes, it's almost like she's de-aging. And eventually she takes a step down off onto the streets of the city, and she hands you her cane.
Oh,
She hands Whisperer her cane. As the time when she finally lets go of the cane, she is a young woman, incredibly beautiful um, with these flowing, long, regal robes, like an old-fashioned kimono with, leaves and blossoms all over it, long flowing hair that sweeps down to the back of her knees, and she just smiles. And as you're holding the staff, it like begins to crumble in your hands. Like, did you do something wrong? Did you hold it incorrectly? But then the dust from the staff actually begin to spark with essence and float in the air, and then they just turn into these beautiful multicolored butterflies and fly off into the sky. And you see her just smile. She holds her hands together and she says, "Bless you all, and may for the next 100 years you be blessed again. Thank you." and then she whisks away. And everyone just is silent in the crowd. And then the first person begins to clap, and then another person, and then the whole crowd just teems with excitement and joy as the band begins to start playing that melody again, and just the festives just come alive, and you hear people from like basically pulling in carts with food and festivities, and it just, the whole town erupts in this liveliness. This festival suddenly erupts out of nowheres, and you succeed. The
Sweet.
blessing is replenished.
Our job here is done.
Okay. So what do you guys do? Everyone is basically partying at this point.
Oh god.
We fucking
Um,
party. Like, is there a
party?
question?
All right.
Might as well.
I will join you all in a moment. Radomir is going to go check again and see if the guild is in town.
Go ahead and make another luck roll.
I can't use willpower on luck, can I?
No, you cannot.
Please? I got another
It's a
fucking
5.
5.
No, they're not in town today.
God.
Radamir's gonna go insane being stuck here.
It's not even the issue. I just want them to hurry up and get here.
Yeah, because I mean, Rad has business to
I got
attend to
fucking
real quick.
things to do.
Well, I mean, the longer they take, the more training time we have.
I mean,
Question
you're
mark?
right. You technically are right.
That's true. Okay, so everyone parties, has a great time. Is there anything in particular that you guys want to do? Anyone you want to speak with? Do you want to do anything in particular during this party?
I want to give the book that we found in the library to. Well, you said there's no like technical like mayor or anything, right?
No, there is
There's no
not.
real
They govern
body. Okay.
themselves. Yep.
Okay. I'll go up to Alan and say, "Hey, Alan, you happen to have that book that we found in the library still with you, right?"
I mean, why? Of course I do. I love books. I would never really get rid of one willy-nilly.
Would you be able to get rid of this one? Rather,
Oh
give
no,
it
I mean,
back?
if it's for a purpose, of course. But like, I just wouldn't leave it somewhere.
and that's fine.
Yeah, I would be more than happy to return this historical piece back to its people.
Go ahead and do that for us, for them, rather.
Yeah, sure. So, can I say that? Oh, maybe it's not a good idea to put it on public display. Fuck.
What? No, the book.
Yeah, the book. Because I was gonna say, like, what if Alan made like a lectern and we could put it in front of the tree with the book there?
Oh yeah, no, I
make it
was
look
actually
like
gonna
that's probably
like
not a good
suggest maybe giving it to the leading body here, but they don't have a fucking body of leadership or anything.
Yeah, well, okay, so here's what's gonna happen. Well, I don't think it would particularly be good to put it out on public display like I would want to do, but
Correct.
and they also don't have any sort of a governing body, so we can't really give it to them. Radomir, was there anybody during your rumor spreading expedition that caught your eye as somebody, well respected in town and, really took the news well?
That's a good
Hint,
point.
hint, nudge, nudge.
Hey, give me that book and I'll go do some searching.
All right, well, here you go.
The first person that comes to mind is the old man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So what I'm gonna go back and dress as I was when I met him, and then
Okay.
go find him.
Sure, I'm not going to make you roll for that. So you find
Cool.
the old man who is, he is seated by the band, and he's got his cane in his hand, and he's just kind of, one hand is like over the cane, just kind of tapping along, and he's kind of swaying back and forth, and one of his feet is tapping to the music, and he looks very happy, and he looks at you and sees, oh, come.
I'll sit. I was like, yeah, sit next to him. What is he doing? He's just like, is he seated?
Yeah,
that what
he's
you said?
seated. He's seated.
Okay,
He's
I'll
just
sit next
bobbing
to
along
him.
to the music.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself.
This is the most fun I've had in many moons.
It's good to hear. Hey, I have something for you. Just something that I happened to come across, and I'll hand
Oh.
him the book.
This is.
Real record of this.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I figured that you were probably the best to have this.
I will take care of it, and when I find someone, I will pass it to them.
It's a good idea.
Puts it into a side pack that he has. And he puts his hand on your shoulder and says, "Thank you."
I'll smile at him and let a moment pass, and Radomir will say, I think I'm going to continue on. Maybe try to see if this could happen other places.
That is good to hear. Everence! Hand me an ale!
Oh my god.
And you see someone
I'll
come
drink
over
with him
and-
for a little bit.
Okay, so you have a drink with him, and he shares tales of when he was a kid and talks your ear off about the
That's fine.
festivals of old and
I'll
all
keep up.
this. Okay. What is everybody else doing?
Alan is probably kind of dancing and doing some stuff, drinking a little bit, but not enough to really lose his wits or anything, right? So he likes to remain in control.
Mm-hmm.
Question: How does alcohol affect us any differently? Like, are we more tolerant to alcohol?
You are a
as
lot more
Exalted?
tolerant. Traditional
Okay, there you go.
alcohol's not even gonna really affect you unless you
But
want
Alan
to.
doesn't know that yet.
And if like if you do drink a lot, a simple like resistance roll could basically staunch off the penalties that you might get. So it would take like really good shit, like fucking top line. That's why opium was so popular in the first age, because that's pretty much what the Exalted had to do to get any sort of
Damn me, I still have an opium tolerance.
You do have an opium tolerance.
Fuck.
Okay, so does anybody else want to do anything the rest of the night during this party? It's gonna last until the wee hours of the morning.
I could see Whisper if there's kids attending. Whisper will tell them the story of Yuri Motia that they got from the book.
That's cute. You've got people just kind of swaying like wide-eyed in Indian style, looking at you as you're telling these stories and.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else doing anything in particular?
Hey, Leonir, you want to dance?
Nope, I'm probably playing with the children.
Oh, that's fair. All right. Hey,
No,
Alan,
no,
you
I have
want
a great
to
idea.
dance?
Back rides and whatnot.
Hold on, I have a great idea, right?
Oh god.
So Alan probably doesn't know enough to know that his alcohol tolerance is actually like really high.
Oh my god.
Right.
Are you-
So subconsciously, he lets it affect him because he doesn't
Oh my
know,
god.
and he just thinks it's going to, so it does.
Oh my fucking.
And I know I know that I said that he probably wouldn't drink too much. Maybe he got a little carried away at the end of the night, right? So for most of it, he was probably fine. At the end of the night, he gets a little tipsy, and he actually goes over and like Radomir's talking and being flamboyant to somebody else, and like Alan fucking snags his arm and drags him onto the dance floor.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, I'm gonna have both of you make a performance roll to see how well you're dancing.
Fuck, I don't know how good my performance is.
Dex and
My
performance.
performance is fantastic.
I know it is.
You're gonna make me look like a fucking.
It's a
Dick on a
combined
dance
roll,
floor.
so basically, Radomir.
I'll lead you.
Radomir, yes, basically you're combining your successes together, and
I have
anywhere
your
that you're
performance.
slacking, Radomir will make up for
Okay.
and make you look good.
Yeah, so I have four decks, so that's all I get is the 4.
It's okay. I'll spend some personal motes for excellencies.
God.
I'm imagining Whisper is telling the story of Yuri Mattia, and Leonir and the kids are sitting there, and after the story, they just like start giving piggyback rides and playing.
I got 3 successes.
Yes.
Yes, that's good. 3 successes. That's really good.
Yeah, on 4 dice, I got 3
let's do
successes on 4
1,
dice.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
Okay, so 9 successes altogether. Basically, the two of you are dancing in the center, and there were other people dancing. There were quite a few people dancing as well. But by like the middle of the song that you guys are dancing to, the crowd has parted and has circled around you, and they're basically, stomping the floor and clapping their hands as you're all
Yeah.
as you're dancing this beautiful dance, and people begin like taking notes on how you're moving, and one by one, couples begin to basically mimic your dance, and you have created a new quote unquote traditional dance
Yes.
for this
Oh
city.
my god.
Fantastic.
Okay, is anybody else doing anything? The piggyback rides have commenced.
Okay, so
Yes,
at
they
some
have.
point in the night, Radomir will actually start offering face paint.
Okay, awesome.
Or actual tattoos if people want any. For free.
There's also like henna as well. You probably
that's too.
know henna, or probably have henna.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, so people probably will pay you a little bit for actual tattoos.
Okay, I won't
Um,
actually ask for, but I'm not going to like say no.
So it's like probably a tip sort of thing. Like
yeah.
it's kind of like how traditional fortune tellers, they wouldn't charge you anything. They would just basically, you pay what you think it's worth. I tell you the
Mhm.
fortune, you tell me, you pay what you think it's worth.
Yeah.
And so you get a good amount of tips for that, and a lot of the kids get henna, different like designs all over them, and that basically takes up the rest of the night at that point. You guys sleep like bricks through the next day. You don't wake up until about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning, because you just sleep through it. All right, so all of you are awake, and Radomir, I can say that I've teased you enough. The guild is in town today.
Fantastic. All right, cool. That was literally the first thing he's going to do because he's like, I'm not missing motherfucking anyone. Like, where the fuck are you? I'm
You
gonna hang
see-
out in the markets all day.
Yep, there is a caravan with a merchant, a very jolly looking sort of fat man. He's got a vest but no shirt underneath, and
It's not the
Uh,
guy I got my mission from the night I
no,
exalted.
no,
it.
he's got kind of the same vibe going on, but a
Ugh.
lot happier though. Like he
good.
doesn't seem like skeezy and greedy. He seems probably like an honest merchant. He's got 2 bodyguards on either side, and he's basically just set up shop in the bazaar.
Cool. Okay. I'll walk up to him, kind of flash the tattoo I've got, to my little symbol tattoo to
He
let
gives
him know
you he gives you a basically a hand gesture signifying that he acknowledges you as being a guild member.
I will give him my package.
Whoa,
My
that
growth.
escalated quickly.
If anything,
I
want
thought
him to
you
give me
gave
the
Alan your package.
No, we're
Not
not
yet.
there yet.
I'm just kidding.
Oh my
So I'll give him the package with the recipe for Aelgrim's ale, the 5 pounds of orichalcum, and then the letter that has the detailed map to get to Rathus, the technically
fake
false
map.
one, yeah, the fake one. And I'll leave a letter with it about giving the details on what I found and how I found it and blah blah blah. And I'll mention specifically that I won't mention the group, but I will mention that I quote unquote hired a researcher, and they translated the books that were in the thing in the crypt to decode the directions to get to Rathus, and then I hired a cartographer to make this map.
Okay.
And that's what took so fucking long and blah blah blah.
Right. He will take all the items and he'll draft up a contract. It's pretty standard protocol for the guild.
Mhm.
Basically saying that he will do his best to adhere to the contract of the guild, get the goods to either the person designated specifically or to
Mhm.
another representative of the guild. But if anything should happen along the way, that basically he gets like an unforeseen event, such as being jumped by somebody, getting looted, or something like that, and getting stolen or lost. He's not responsible for it, but that he will uphold the honor of the guild and do this exchange to the best of his ability. He signs it and he slides it over to you to sign.
Cool, I'll sign that. And then I'll also ask him a favor. Rather, I want him to go to. Would I have any contacts that I worked with a lot that might owe me a favor of any type?
Did you take contacts?
No, but I do have backing, so I don't know if that. I have 2 dots on backing for the guild.
Backing in the guild isn't going to give you contacts. It'll get you a little extra leeway in the guild, but
Okay.
it won't get you favors.
And I also have 2 dots in influence and 2 dots in resources.
See, now if you push your weight a little bit, depending on what you're looking for, you might be able to get it.
Okay. So I just want to write. I wrote some letters. I'm gonna say I wrote some letters to send out to a few people, specifically mentioning to look out for this town. Because the guild isn't necessarily in cahoots with the Dragon-Blooded, and the Dragon-Blooded doesn't actually technically like the guild.
Yeah, it's kind
So
of a rocky relationship between
kind
the
of-
two.
I kind of want them to, if it's possible, do their best to kind of keep this town on the down low from the Dragon-Blooded. And if any trouble might seem to potentially arise, to kind of help them bring it back down and keep everything in a down low with what's going on now.
Okay, the merchant explains he'll try to basically do it to the best of his ability, but no
Yeah, that's
promises,
fine. That's
obviously.
fine. Whatever. It's
Um,
that's protocol.
Yeah.
I just
So
need
yeah,
some letters.
you drop off the packages. You're confident that they're basically, because you have the contract and you handed it off to somebody, you are no longer responsible. Your job is finished. So even if the stuff gets stolen, as long as you have that contract saying that yes, I gave it to this other person, here is his signature, it's not your problem anymore.
Sweet.
So what I'm hearing is we should probably jump him and take the ship back.
Yeah.
and you get
I
paid.
didn't consider that.
Yeah,
Yeah, we totally could.
you get paid either way. So.
Yup.
Whisperer would
fucking
not
problem
have
in
that
there.
idea. Would not have that idea.
So
I
basically,
don't think Alan would necessarily
you
be keen on it
hand
either. But...
you hand the merchant the original job, the contract of the job, and you hand it over to him. He pays you what the merchant who gave you the job owes you, and then he is going to basically turn it in. It's basically going to be like, I give it to you, you pay me for it, I now have the goods, and I get paid for it when I turn it in, and so on and so forth. And then there's a middleman fee that they get to collect along the way to make it worth their while. But you get paid right then and there.
Sweet.
So
Sounds
that
good to
job
me.
is complete.
I just have to wait until I'll kind of like vaguely mention like any areas I might be in. So like if they need to contact me, then that's, let the people in those areas know.
Okay.
Like in the note that I had, so they
Okay.
don't think I just fucking disappeared.
Right. Okay.
I don't need them thinking that right now.
All
Right
right.
now,
So
yet.
you are in the clear at this point.
Yep.
All right. Is there anything anyone else would like to do?
I think Alan. I think Alan would like to basically kind of like inventory the supplies that they have, right? So they went shopping. They put the supplies in the forge. So Alan's just gonna basically have a small checklist of what they have, make sure that he feels like it's enough and they don't need any like last minute things before they head out, and just really make sure that they're well prepared for this journey.
Sure. Okay. So you guys all stock up on supplies, and you're set up. I'm gonna say you're set up for a good like 2 months of just like supplies. So you've got enough water. You've got enough. You probably have to have a wagon that Kitty will be able to pull. You'll have to take your time in the woods and the jungle, but
Right
you're
over
also
the
Nah.
wagon.
what's that?
I thought we were putting it in the forge.
Oh, in the forge.
Yeah,
right.
we're putting it in the forge.
You don't need
That's
a
what I said.
wagon. Gotcha. Sorry, I wasn't.
You could have a
I
wagon that
didn't
just
hear
has
part.
a door in it.
Honestly, you don't even need that. You just need like a plank
Yeah.
of wood on the ground so you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, you guys are all set. You put everything in the forge. And I'll even say there's a cooling compartment in the forge.
Ooh, an ice box.
Yeah, we'll say there's an ice
Is it
box in there.
essence powered?
Oh, absolutely. Everything in that fucking man's is
Fuck yeah.
in that forge is essence powered.
Yeah, Alan is gonna have to take some good quality time at some point to like inspect everything in there and see how it works.
Okay, so yeah, you're all stocked up. What do you guys do from there?
Well, that's a good question. So this is what Alan will propose, right? So I'm assuming we're all probably like in the inn room, just kind of chilling for a second. Like, Alan's making sure the supplies are good. Maybe people are making sure everything else is good. And Alan comes back into the room and is just kind of like, well, all of our supplies are inventoried and noted down. We have a good 2 months of supplies. It should be plenty for us to do what we're going to set out to. What time is it? Is it still like really early?
I'll
Or
say
well, I
it's
guess
like
not really early, but like
it's like just before noon.
just before noon. Yeah. So we could head out immediately if we want, but if we want to just take a good afternoon to hang out and rest and maybe see what the rest of this town has to offer before maybe we set off in the morning, we could do that too. However, whatever anybody's feeling.
I wouldn't mind one more day of relaxation before we take off.
So relaxation, does that mean not training time? Or maybe one shift?
Yeah,
Yeah, just kind of a
Sure.
One shift.
whatever anybody wants to do. And if somebody wants to like train or whatever, they can. I'd assume Alan would probably maybe that's the time Alan takes to go and start looking at all the things in the forge to like see how it works and
Right.
get knowledge.
Yeah, I'll count that as quote unquote training time because you could kind of use that for any evocations that you would want to get.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, because you're getting acquainted with it. I'm not gonna define exactly what's in the forge because I
Yeah.
like being able to go, oh yeah, it's got that, So.
Right. Yeah. No, that's fine. I just want to like Alan's definitely gonna get like
Yes.
spend time getting acquainted with it.
Alan is
really
definitely yes, perfect. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, so we'll say we're gonna lapse time until you guys are basically ready to leave at that point. Unless anybody wants to do anything in particular before you guys set out.
No, I'm good.
You're good?
Got nothing.
Yep.
Good.
I'm good.
Okay.
I did my hard thing for the session.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I will say Alan would have gone up to Whisper at like some point in time and just like compliment them so hard for that like speech. Like it was short, but it it was to the point and it was pretty awesome and well spoken.
Yeah. And then a miracle happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at a point where it's going to be training time. It's going to be travel time from Briel to Rothus. Do we want to like basically sum things up here for tonight's session, or do we want to keep going? I've got a couple things that are going to happen in between travel time. How do you guys want to handle this?
I'd be okay with keep going.
Yeah, we're only 2 hours in right now, so I mean we have more than enough time to keep going if we want.
Yeah, I mean that would be fine.
I'm good with doing what we did last time and just like wait until after the session.
Yeah,
actually
so
spend the training time.
We'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll do that then. Okay. So let me change the soundtrack since you guys are leaving the city.
Ooh, soundtrack change.
I know, right? Right one. Okay. So it has been about 2 or 3 weeks, and 6 if you count Kitty, have been on the road for quite some time now. And it is roughly midday when we'll say like actually like early afternoonish, when there is kind of a brisk cold. Like all let me update the calendar real quick. So, but 3 days. There were a week, so you guys are, we'll say, the third of Resplendent Wood. All right. So normally the temperature around this time of year for this climate is usually pretty temperate. It's not summer, but it's definitely the later like middle of spring. Um, and you guys have this cold air breathe over your backs.
Ugh.
Oh
The
no.
the hairs at the end of your on the back of your neck stand at attention, and you all get this sort of foreboding feeling. Everything that's around you seems bleak, stale. The air itself just has this weird sense to it. Um, the sky looks not as bright and vibrant as it did a few hours ago. It feels more gray. Even the clouds seem to be sadder, which is a strange attribute for, clouds, but there's something you just can't shake about this area that just feels different.
Where are we on the map? Can you put a ping?
Sure. I will up guys are probably right about here-ish.
Okay, so we're just like now
Like the halfway
entering this
point.
Yeah.
forest.
You've been in the forest for a couple days now.
Okay.
And so the plant life is also reflected on the same feeling. It just a lot of the trees are just shriveled up and like worse off than the friggin' tree in the town was. Like they are shriveled up, they are dead, and you're just in this very weird, this very sense of foreboding around all of you.
Hmm.
Can I make a perception and awareness
Sure.
roll? Okay.
Probably a good idea.
7. 7 dice.
I'm gonna do one too.
If I have learned anything from Death Watch, always use a perception and awareness roll.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Always.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Five.
5 successes.
Nice. Okay. Anybody else doing it?
I am.
Can I do one
can.
that's hearing based?
Yes.
I got 3. 3 successes.
3 successes. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
5.
forget what does enhanced sense get you exactly?
It depends on the sense. You have to pick a sense that is
Well,
enhanced.
yeah, I do have a sense. Fuck. Let me open the book, cause I just out of curiosity, I do have enhanced sense for smell.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I
5.
don't know.
5.
Yes.
5 success hearing based. 5 successes just general perception from Leonir. 3 successes general perception from Alan. And then smell based whatever you roll.
Pretty sure it's I got 2 successes.
2 successes? Okay.
Yeah.
So, we'll start off with 2 successes first. So there is this smell of like a dead carcass was left out in the sun for too.
Oh.
Who had the next? It would be Alan. So it's unnaturally cold for this time of year here. And there's just something about the air that it feels like almost you opened the door to something and went into a different, like, imagine being hot out like a hot day outside, and then you walk into a nice cool air conditioned room. It's like
Yeah.
something like flicked a switch.
I see. So we kind of like it almost felt like there might have been a barrier keeping in the cold,
Yes.
and we sort of like passed through it.
Yes.
It just feels really weird.
Leonare, you got 5 successes.
Yeah.
General.
Yep.
So there is. It was almost like a radius that you guys stepped into. You feel much of the same thing that Alan did, but it's unnatural. Whatever it is, it's not like just, oh, it's a cool breeze. There is something inherently like it's not a natural feeling. So it's like essence. I wouldn't say essence based, but it's like you just went to a different part of the world. Something feels wrong about this area. And you've heard stories of places that are gaps between worlds. Hearing based.
Yep.
You hear in the distance, probably a good quarter of a mile away, because you have enhanced senses.
Hearing. Yep.
You hear the sound of a large group of scuffling people coming your way. What do you guys do?
I feel like we would probably all relay our information to each other.
Yeah,
Well, then-
Radomir would
Yeah.
definitely
Then
say
do
something
so
smells
in
like it died.
character.
Yes. Do the RP.
It smells like death.
It feels like we entered somewhere. Almost as if we crossed a barrier and then it just became cold.
Well, I've heard stories of gaps in between worlds before, but I didn't really think they existed.
Ooh,
That
you'll
could
have to
be
tell
where
me
we
more
are.
of these.
Oh, okay.
No.
I want to know about
There's
these
a large group of something coming our way.
Perhaps
Is it
we
is
should
it
hide.
people or?
It sounds like people. I think.
Oh.
I absolutely suggest we hide.
Good time to
see-
activate a stealth charm.
Hold on. I actually do have a stealth charm that might help.
Well, now hold on a second. I
so-
have an extra dimensional forge we could all go into.
Yeah, but I want
Bella-
to see who these
You
were.
can't really like
Bella
eavesdrop.
looks to you, Alan, and signs. How are we going to hide Kitty?
Forge.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe
that's
maybe
hot.
Kitty can go into the
Toss
forge.
Kitty into the forge.
You're gonna
So-
need an opening big enough.
Yeah.
It's time to
So
make one.
yeah, maybe that's what's gonna happen. Would our essence have been like recharged at this point?
Yes. Oh, long since.
Okay. That way I can get my personal mote back, my motes back, and not like be ablaze. So
Yeah, and anybody who
here's
spent willpower would have it back, unless you've
Okay,
been
cool.
meditating this whole time, Token. Because
Oh
remember,
yeah,
you
no,
have
I've
to.
definitely been.
Okay.
I've been meditating.
Yeah. So, and I don't think you spent any willpower.
No, I have not. Well,
Okay.
no, I actually do have a willpower spent.
Yeah.
But I haven't gotten it back
So
yet.
we'll say that you got it back. So one of the nights you did rest, and you
Mhm.
got your willpower back. But just keep in mind that the caveat of the ritual is if you're meditating, you don't get the willpower back.
Yeah.
We'll say that you
So-
meditated last night though, so you do have the extra
Yeah.
motes. So if you want to roll that to kind of see how many reserve sorceress points that you have,
Okay.
you're
What
more than
was the
welcome to.
roll
But I don't
again?
think you have
Pretty
any
sure-
other spells, do you?
No, I only have the one.
Yeah,
But
so-
you did mention that I don't know how exactly it can work, so you're
I
gonna have
could
to like
not
give me.
find it. I could not find it anywheres.
Find
Like,
what?
on the what you can do with regular sorcery, like without an
Okay.
actual spell. So we're gonna have
I
to
was
delve
going-
into that a little bit more.
Okay, because I was gonna suggest I have a charm that allows me to cloak one other with my stealth roll
Oh wow.
along with myself, and I was going to suggest maybe I could try to enhance that to cover everyone. Add half the solar inside. Okay, so it says someone.
Does the charm allow that?
No, I don't know. Just attempt to stall. Okay, well, it mentions one person, so.
Yeah, if it only mentions one person, then no, you wouldn't be able to do that.
Charisma four, so 8. What do you do? How did you do that? Okay, let's see. Well, I got one success.
One success on a stealth roll?
No, one success on my shaping ritual.
Oh, okay. So you got 1 point in reserves.
Fantastic.
I feel like you need an extra counter just for those. I feel like that might help.
That's
but-
not a
Yeah,
bad
actually,
idea. Do you want me
yeah.
to give you
Sure.
okay. Do you want it to be purple?
It could be a different color.
Color
Like-
would you
Maybe
like
then
it?
you'll know the difference
Like,
between your reserve modes and your.
I can make
Well,
it.
you can
let's
label
make
them
it-
too. So like if you hover it, it'll say like
Yeah.
reserve.
Just make it pink.
Oh, they can be labeled.
Yeah.
Huh.
Sorceress motes, and you said pink.
Yeah, sure.
Why?
So I do have an idea for the kitty situation.
Okay.
Is that like what you're working on?
No,
'Cause you
no.
Would have stuttered or said something.
Well, I mean, again, I have a charm called Guardian Fog Approach, where it says through quick action, Solar may obscure someone with her own efforts to remain hidden. The Solar must be touching the one she wishes to hide and must herself attempt a stealth action at the same time. The Solar works to obscure her charge, covering him with her body, shrouding him with a cloak, or guiding him into a cleverly concealed niche. And so I can add half the Solar successes and any stunt bonuses on this action as dice to her charge's own stealth roll.
Interesting. Do you get to keep your stealth roll at full, or?
Yes.
Okay,
I mean,
awesome.
I'm assuming that's what that is.
Yeah, that I mean that's what it sounds like. Okay.
So everyone else can attempt their own stealth roll, and then I can help hide Kitty.
Oh, so you're gonna try to hide Kitty
Well,
instead of the forge?
I mean, do
Yeah.
we have time to do that?
Because I mean,
well,
you
all we need is something slightly resembling a door. So my idea is to potentially just use Shattering Grasp on a tree so that we get the materials to basically arrange these things slightly resembling a door,
Yep.
so that we can then like open it and put Kitty
Here is
inside.
a garage door.
so you could absolutely
Yeah.
do that. So this is the point where you have to kind of balance like what you want to do. Do you want Kitty to be there in case a fight happens,
Oh, that's a
or
good point.
do you want to hide Kitty to make stealth more probable?
I would rather go the stealth route, but that's me.
Stealth roll, stealth as in hide
So
Kitty.
put Kitty away,
Yeah.
Okay.
but we wouldn't have access to her in a fight.
No, they're saying stealth, not putting Kitty in
Not-
the forge.
No, that's actually no. I was saying put Kitty in the forge.
Oh, okay.
Put Kitty in the
Yep.
forge, and you could
Yeah.
Okay.
basically, you could spend. It would take an action. It would take a simple action to basically open the door and let Kitty out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I would. Okay, so I'm fine doing this. And then what would happen though is Alan would make sure that he was like positioned near the door.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm gonna use Shattering Grasp on a reasonably sized tree that would just give enough material to like throw it in the shape of a door, and call it a day, and put Kitty in there.
Okay.
That is 6 motes, so I will spend personal.
All right. I won't even make you roll. You make
Cool.
a big enough tree. You're gonna have to. You're gonna make a little bit of noise, with Shattering
Uh-huh.
Grasp. But as Whisperer said, they're about a quarter of a mile away. So
Mhm.
you don't you have time before they get there. They might be on the alert that there might be something there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yes, you successfully make a door, something resembling a door. You put Kitty, and Mello will also go into the forge, because if there's a big crowd of people, she's a kitty.
Yeah,
So
that's a good point.
She can fight, but she's not.
Kitty really does the fighting.
Yes, exactly. So she's gonna stay in the forge with Kitty. The
That is
four
fair.
of you, in the meantime, I'll have all of you roll stealth rolls. If you would like to stunt it to help your rolls, you may do so at this time.
Okay. I'm
Can I
going to
use the charm.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to stick with Alan and use my charm on him.
Okay.
So
Okay.
let's see.
What do I roll?
You can go ahead and roll your stealth.
Yeah,
and
but
then
what is that?
Dexterity and stealth.
Dexterity, stealth.
Okay, that's what I needed to know.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So I just get
5,
4 dice because I don't have any stealth.
Oof.
2, 3, 4, 5, 2.
I kind of want to use the easily overlooked presence method charm, which is the lawgiver evades detection by hiding in plain sight. A solar with this charm is able to drift unnoticed through crowds or alone. This charm models her talent for blending in and remaining unobtrusive. Brain cannot having a stroke. Oh, I can't read that word, and I'm not even gonna try. When active, characters cannot notice her unless she takes overt action. Such actions include any display of prowess, leaping from the street rooftops, braving a snowstorm in summer clothes, etc. Join battle always counts as an action.
Which charm is this?
It is easily overlooked presence. It is a stealth
Okay.
charm.
So remaining unobtrusive. Not work against.
Not sure if it would work though if they do become alert.
So if they become alert, it will be basically it'll bump you out of it.
I
But
think.
what's that?
I think
Well-
the skill does not work against alert guards or those who intend to stop everyone, such as with a checkpoint, but can be overcome
Oh.
by. So I don't know if it's they're already alert or if
Basically,
they...
what this will do is if basically you're not disappearing, you're
Yeah.
making yourself look unassuming and uninteresting. So they
Oh,
still
okay.
see you there, but they're just not gonna care. However, if it's someone who is basically like, I'm gonna kill everybody who I fucking see, it's not gonna work.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Then I'll just take a regular stealth roll then. I
Sure.
do actually have a specialty called avoiding others and stealth. So
That
I'd
will
probably-
definitely work here.
And you said it was dexterity and stealth? Or was
Dexterity
it...
and stealth, yes.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
I got 7 successes, so Alan, you will add 4 successes to your roll.
Okay.
3, 4. Oh,
I have 6 men.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Here's my dice. Let's roll.
Hey,
I got
I'm making chicken
2
patties. Do you want
successes.
any?
Fuck.
Yes, I want 1 chicken patty.
1 chicken patty. Okay.
All I can imagine is fucking. I'm just to make this even more awkward for Alan. Radomir like did the whole cloak thing where he threw his cloak over, and so like Alan is like huddled against Radomir.
No, so this is how I see it going, right? So Alan thinks he's being clever and like hiding well, but he really just grabs like a couple twigs with some leaves and like tries to put them on himself. So he quote unquote blends in, and then Radomir sees this and just gives like a heavy sigh, and then like does the thing where
Just
he,
throw
like, throws
cloak
a cloak.
over and just kind of like buries them both into the shrub.
All right,
Yeah.
what did everybody get for successes?
I got a 2.
Oh fuck!
You got 2 successes.
Alan had a 2, but plus the 4 successes from Rad, it's a 6.
I got 7 successes.
Okay.
And I was going to have Whisper like leap up into a tree and hide in the upper branches because they are small.
They are small.
So for
So let
stomping.
me.
So 2 successes, Leonir. 7 successes, Radomir. How many did you get, Alan?
6.
6. And you're in a tree?
I'm in a tree.
Okay.
I got 4.
Nice.
4 successes. Okay. So, you guys all feel like you're pretty well hidden, as hidden as you can be. The canopy actually does give all of you an automatic success as well.
Sweet.
So you're basically all hidden amongst the trees at this point, and the crowd becomes closer and closer and louder and louder until you see the first person come through the brush, and it is, much to your horror, a man who is missing pieces of skin. Jaw
Oh.
is unhinged. One of his eyes is slightly out. Pus is coming out from the socket.
Yummy.
Blood is
Dead.
dripping from his legs,
Rules.
and he just is shambling. One person comes through, and then another, and then another, and then 3 more, and then 5 more, until a crowd of roughly 100 people pass by.
And they passed by, right?
100 undead pass by. And then
Holy shit.
one person at the end wearing this blackened suit of armor that every step he takes, there's just this every step he takes.
Like Soul Sand.
Soul Steel.
Oh, okay.
Over his
You
back, crossed in sheaths, see these 2 giant blades. They look almost like butcher knives, but imagine like amplified to like half the size of Cloud's Buster Sword.
Jesus.
Oh God.
He has chains hanging from his alabaster skin. If it weren't for the body modifications that this person had and the piercing odd places and parts of his bones sticking through,
Oh.
he's incredibly beautiful, unnaturally beautiful. And he's just walking through, looking around, and
Radomir's gonna
Radomir
have
would
sex
still-
with it.
I was gonna say Radomir would still tap that.
Jesus Christ.
however, there is something shrouding his face. There's like this alabaster mask over his face. At first you thought it was his actual face, but it's blank, it's expressionless, and he's looking by. All you can see is the blinking eyes from behind it, and then he looks, and he just stops, and he looks over to Linear.
Radomir, don't fuck the abyssal.
And he stares at you.
He said Leonir or Radomir?
Millionaire.
Okay, I was about to say.
Leonir
I'm
just,
the
if
one
you
with
don't
the
move,
shittiest stealth roll.
if you don't move, he can't see you.
And then he shifts focus and looks up at the canopies, up at Whisperer.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Don't move, he can't see you.
He places his hand over the on the handle on the back on his back, and he'll continue walking forward.
Stay
Like,
still, I can't
toward
see you.
us, or is
Slowly
he just...
and cautiously, he's going to continue on.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
not gonna
okay,
fuck with
okay,
that,
okay.
no.
Yeah,
He-
yeah.
He
We'll
knows
just-
that you're there, but
But if we leave him alone, he'll leave us alone.
he doesn't seem to be interested.
Good.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
Because he
just-
probably fucking knows. Little
And he-
bastard.
You guys can go ahead and roll an essence roll for me. Just raw
Oh
essence.
no, I
Do I
fucking
have to roll 2 dice?
Do I get occult
Yeah,
essence
you
on
get
this?
2. You get 2 dice, Leonir.
Oh fuck, my dude.
What's that?
I don't think specialties happen, but I do have an
Oh,
occult
I'll give you.
essence
I'll
specialty.
give you. I'll give you your. No, that's because it's a cult. Now, if it was an occult roll, you would have your specialty, but it's just a raw essence.
Okay.
But I'm using essence.
I got 2 successes.
I also
successes?
got 2.
I rolled a
successes.
9.
1 success.
I'm gonna get a 1. Watch. I got a 3. That's not a botch.
Okay.
No successes.
So Leonir, he feels more powerful than you, and about 3 times as powerful as the rest of you.
Oh god.
But he continues. Eventually, he will be out of sight. The sound of his band of undead continues on its way until you hear the shambling corpses.
No.
What do you
Jesus
guys
Christ.
do?
Alan just like starts breathing like super heavy and like not hyperventilating or anything yet, but he's pretty nervous.
Oh,
And he's just
will
like-
be just like, I am not fighting that.
Radomir will just kind of hold Alan close, like kind of like a comfort thing.
Yeah, no, Alan's like totally, because he just doesn't notice. He's too like, it just intense. Like the moment was just so intense that he's like totally leaning into Radomir, probably like clenching Radomir's clothes because he's just like tense. He doesn't even know what's going on right now.
Doesn't matter. Radomir doesn't care.
Well, Alan
Okay.
doesn't know that yet.
Apparently I need to open the book because charms.
Out of character. I'm screaming. I'm screaming. No, thank you.
That's
No.
exactly what you think it was.
Oh no.
That was an Abyssal Exalted.
And see,
Oh my
what
gosh.
makes this worse is I knew it was gonna show up because guess what I woke up to in my freaking DMs this morning?
Wait, what?
I woke up to an abyssal name in my private messages from Silk.
Oh no. Oh my
Oh
fucking god.
God, is he the fucking like? What is the opposite of dawn? I think it was
The dusk.
No. Yeah, dusk. And I was gonna say, don't tell me he's a dusk. Please tell me. He's probably a dusk. And we're all gonna die.
Might be. I don't know. You'd have to roleplay with him a little bit to figure it out.
No, that's
Nope.
okay.
Or fight him.
I'm going to fucking avoid him.
Continue on his fucking merry way.
Yep, he doesn't seem to have beef with the people he saw, at least.
Right now, we are on neutral stance, and that's where I would like to keep it.
You didn't
Nobody
attack
recognized.
him.
Well, I guess technically
He
recognized.
knew you were there, but he continued on his way.
He was just like, I know you're here, but I don't give a shit right now.
Yeah, and
Oh.
you could tell, Leonir, that he wanted you to know that I know you're there. I don't care
That's-
that you're
that's- Oh, okay. That's still rude.
there.
Having Eric out of character paranoia now. I'm just gonna shut my mouth.
I didn't read that.
What?
You never admit to the DM that you're scared. You just don't do it. Because then he knows.
The keen senses charms have a special activation rule. You can pay 3 motes for it to be one scene, or 6 motes and 1 willpower will make it indefinite.
Oh,
Oh.
Indefinite.
that's awesome. Alright, so the immediate threat has passed. What do you guys do?
Is the weird death feeling still around?
Yes.
Okay.
But
Okay.
he is gone.
I guess we should continue moving on.
I was going to say, Whisper isn't going to move until they know that they're gone.
You are positive that he is gone.
Okay, because I have hearing charms. I can track that fucker. I can track that fucker if he's stealth, fucker.
He didn't seem interested in stealth.
Right? He has too many zombies for that shit.
He had chains dangling from his bones.
Yeah.
Okay. Whisperer will jump down from the tree and be very interested in going the other direction.
Luckily, he's
Yeah.
not going in the direction that you guys were going.
Yeah, let's just... Yeah.
That would make the entire trip there very awkward.
We're just following casually behind him. He just looks at us. What the fuck? Don't mind us. We're going the same way, my dude.
Okay, so you guys continue.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you let Kitty and Mela out?
I was about to say.
Yeah, let's let her
You know-
out there.
Well, I'm actually gonna open the forge and kind of ask them what they want to do. So I'll ask Mela, like, do you guys want to stay in here for the time being? Like, the threat has passed. But, you can
she-
come out if you want.
Mela will side. What was it?
Alan is just kind of... Okay, so Alan just does a big shrug And then he says, I'm not really sure. I mean, he was
Kind of know.
undead for sure. There were zombies, but
See her
I feel
shiver
like
a
he
little
was
bit.
more than that. Huh?
You see her shiver a little bit at the mention of undead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not a pleasant sight.
Alan pats her head.
And she will nod, and she'll actually step out of the forge, and Kitty will follow behind. All right, what do you guys do?
So we continue on.
Okay.
A little more cautious in our steps. A little more caution in our steps.
You continue on for several more hours, and it is now nightfall. And you get into a clearing, and you guys are getting tired. It's probably a good time to set up camp at this point. But it's your call. What do you guys do?
Is it still dark and dismal?
It is dark and
Still
dismal.
like death? Okay.
In fact, I will have let's see. I'm gonna have to say Alan because you're the most book smart of them. So
Yeah.
I'll have you make a intelligence and either occult or lore, and I'll let you have your research specialty if it's lore.
Sweet.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
no, it's
say,
gonna be fucking lore.
I'm civilized.
Right, but you're not. You don't do a whole lot of research, so
Five,
I don't see your
four,
character
9.
knowing a whole lot about
Yeah,
this.
not like.
What's your
not
occult?
like-
What's your occult rating?
I have 1 dot in occult.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say unless you had a specialty for this particular thing.
I can spend motes for excellencies, right?
Yeah.
So that's 10, and I can just up to double what my normal dice pool without specializations was,
Yep.
right? Okay, cool. I'll take that as a yes.
I said yes. Sorry, probably didn't
Oh,
pick it
it
up.
didn't pick you up. Okay, I just thought maybe you didn't hear me. So I spent 5 personal motes to get 5 extra dice.
Okay.
This is 4 extra dice.
I have to flaunt it every time. I'm so glad that my being a nightcast gives me the ability to fucking snuff my anima.
It's a very good thing.
So fucking good.
Are you using personal or peripheral for this?
Oh shit, hold on. I'm gonna have to re-roll because I accidentally just hovered some dice and they started getting flung too.
I saw which ones they were.
Okay, well I'll
So-
let them drop. But let's make sure that this is oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3. Well, I'm just counting the dice real quick. 1. Okay, that is all of them. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
All right, so you find yourself kind of you're all kind of in the clearing at this point and thinking about setting up camp but not sure because of the foreboding sense that's around you. And you find yourself kind of looking up at the sky, thinking about it for some moments, and then you realize that you don't recognize these stars.
Fuck!
These
Oh,
are not
great.
the stars of creation. And then it hits you what Leonir said. The joining of worlds. You were in a Shadowland. You are now in the underworld.
Fuck.
What?
Backtrack.
Uh,
I'm a backtrack.
You don't know this.
Do I?
so we're in the underworld?
We're in
Does
the
Alan-
underworld.
Does Alan know anything about the stars in the underworld?
Yeah, you got a lot of successes. You know that these are the stars of the underworld.
Can I tell directions? Do I no penalties or anything? I still get direction sense and I can
Yeah,
tell
you still
the
get
time
your
and shit.
direction sense. You still get your time. You know
Okay.
enough about the with that role. You know basically what the underworld is. I need to kind of fill you in on what it is?
Yes.
Okay, so basically,
Please.
there are 2 layers in creation. There's creation, and then there are Shadowlands that link linked to the underworld. Basically, imagine two layers of existence, almost like the astral plane, but not. Almost like elsewhere is its own dimension, but the underworld is like a mirror world of creation, but it is where like the undead go. That would explain Mr. Lovely that just passed you guys. Um, it is where ghosts go after they die. It is basically ruled by the undead and powerful ghosts and figures. They're also very non-hospitable creatures in the
Are we
underworld.
unintentionally traveling for 7 days, or am I thinking of something else?
No, the same thing happens, but well, no, not the same thing happens, but
That would be Malpheus that you're thinking of, and that's the desert.
okay.
You are not in Malpheus. You are not in hell. You're just in the land of the dead.
Oh, okay. I thought that just applied everywhere.
No,
Interesting.
no, just the desert, because the
Okay.
desert is a primordial.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
The whole ass desert? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the any desert is part of Sicily.
That's fucked up.
The dead primordial.
so int an occult for this sort of information.
Yes, it's an occult.
Would I get my specialty for spirit song?
Sure.
Yay.
What are you trying to find out here? Trying to see if you know what a Shadowland is, or what the
Yes.
underworld is.
I'm a really shitty shaman and I have no idea.
You have no idea what the land of the dead is. As far as you're concerned, when people die, they go right into your incarnation.
People die when they are killed.
You know about hungry ghosts and stuff, but you
Right.
don't know that there is a land of the dead.
Well, at least it's not as bad as the fucking bird.
It's fair. But yeah, I mean, basically, you were brought up to that everyone should get a proper burial, you know, and automatically go into. So there was no need for a land of the dead. Okay, so Alan, with that information, what do you do or say?
So everybody's probably just like maybe hanging out around the campfire. Maybe some people are kind
I
of
don't
laying.
think we ever decided to set up camp.
Set up a camp.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what
did
you
we not
guys
do
were
that yet?
kind of deciding if you wanted to stop
Yeah.
or not.
Oh, and then I look up at the stars and realize this.
Yeah.
Okay, well, how about this? We're all talking about what we want to do and how we want to do it, whether we set up camp or not, or what's going on. And then all of a sudden, and this is a really rare occurrence, but Alan just kind of falls silent as he kind of stares up at the sky, and his mouth is kind of hanging open just a little bit.
Like the
And,
Oprah
like-
moment.
Yeah, he's just like, he's staring at it, not for like a super long time, but definitely like longer than people normally stare at the sky. And then all of a sudden he's just like, oh fuck. Where? Let Alan say fuck. Where? We're in the underworld. We're not on creation anymore.
Excuse me? That is 100% what Radomir says.
Excuse you? And Alan just looks at Radomir and is like, oh no, like what happened?
What do you mean, what happened? Well, I'm asking you this. What happened? How in the hells?
Oh,
Are we
well,
in?
I mean, you remember what Leonir said about the boundaries between worlds and stuff? I don't know a lot about it, but I'm assuming she's just right.
And Alan,
we...
mid-sentence, you pause for a moment and
Okay.
just dwell on what you just said. Basically, Leonir said something. Leonir said something while you were in the Shadowland. If you would have thought of that when you were in the Shadowland,
For fuck's
you could have
sake.
stayed in the Shadowland and not have traveled into the underworld. This is your fault because you did not know
Oops.
then. You have failed your group and caused a major setback. Roll limit break, 3 dice.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yeah, it's just.
I'm confused and feel like this is pretty stretchy, but I'll do it. I don't feel like Alan would be that pressed, but
The Great Curse is really.
oh, hold on,
The
it's
Great
like
Curse
flipping.
stretches, and if you get no successes, then you don't think of it. Dave, thank you so much. I didn't even know you were in the stream. Thank you for the bits. Appreciate it.
You got
Oh,
one
thanks.
success.
One success. So it kind of nags you a little bit, but it's not like fuck. It's not that big of a setback. You can
Yeah.
probably go back
Well,
to
how
the
is it? How
Shadowland at some point.
how is it? How is it like a setback? That's like what I'm curious. Like, are we not going towards where we want to anymore
You are
because we're
not
in
in
the
the
underworld?
same dimension anymore.
When you were saying it, I just kind of assumed that like Rothus now lay in the underworld or
No.
something, which is
Nope.
how we got there.
No, you are
Okay.
not in the same dimension. Rothus is not in the Underland. There are probably things
Okay.
in where Rothus is in the underworld. Do you kind of understand a little bit more now?
Yeah.
How
No, I
it's
get
a-
what you're
Okay,
saying.
okay.
Like, just I get it now, but just when we were talking about it, I just assumed that like because we were going in this path, that's just where it was because that's where we were going. But now I
Nope.
understand that it is indeed somehow we hit something that we probably weren't supposed to. We probably could have gone around or something.
Yeah, and now we
Not
have to
ended up here.
backtrack, and
Now we have to backtrack.
we've probably lost a day or two.
I see.
Yeah, because if you cross the border of a Shadowland at night, you go into the underworld. If you cross the border during the day, you're fine.
And
Ah.
that's on me for not explaining it as
I
well as I
see.
probably should have. But do you kind of
Yeah,
understand
but Alan
why?
wouldn't have fucking known. Yeah, no, I totally understand it
Okay.
now.
Okay,
I
cool.
still don't like the Great Curse, but that's
Oh
the Great
no,
Curse.
the Great Curse, like it may seem stretchy at some points, but that's how the Great Curse is.
Yeah, no, I mean that's fair. It's a Great Curse. What the fuck do I know about it?
Trip the event flag, you fool. Through their worst places. I mean, there are worse places. That is true.
We could be
Dave,
in
I
Malcolm.
have to tell you about the
Yeah, we could
last
be in
time I
Malcolm.
accidentaled into the underworld. I botched on a roll of intelligence
I
where
mean,
I had one die.
honestly, there are some places in the underworld that are pretty peaceful. Like Saijan is just a place of remembrance. you
Any
know?
place near a fucking abyssal is not peaceful. No, it's just not.
No. No.
Absolutely fucking not.
Okay, so you now have the information that you are in the underworld. You guys heard him kind of explaining what was going on, and then he just stopped for a moment, like he was dwelling on something, and that is where we left off. So
Yeah,
you
so
guys do.
he kind of winces, right? He like kind of pauses, and he sort of winces. You know, just one of those sort of like oh fuck moments, like what did I just do? But kind of continues, just kind of finishing the explanation of, well, you know, the whatever we did, we crossed a border, and now we're in the underworld, so we'll have to go out of the underworld and continue back, and we probably lost a couple of days. He seems a little peeved.
So because you got 10 successes on the roll, and you
Yes.
know pretty much exactly how fucking Shadowlands and stuff work.
Oh, so Alan does know now that like if I cross the Shadowlands at night, we go into the thing. If we do it at day, we would be fine, sort of a deal.
Exactly.
Okay, so we would know all of that.
So if you're traveling in the underworld, you could get to the location, but you would have to find a another Shadowland to go through, which there might be, but there might not be. So you're taking a gamble. Do you want to go back to
So
the
there's no
Shadowland?
there's no guarantee that where we entered is where we can exit.
No, there's no guarantee that where we're going, there's going to be a way to get out.
So yes,
Oh,
you
yeah,
can go
yeah,
back
okay.
to
I get
where
what you're
you
saying.
were, where you felt the feeling originally. You could go back there and wait till morning and exit into creation. But if you keep traveling in the underworld and you keep going until you get to your destination, you basically might not have an exit into creation.
Yeah, no, fuck that. If Alan's already like gotten hit by his fucking limit, and you know, like, just imagine how much more Alan would feel sucky if he like pressed on anyway, and then it turns out there's like no exit there.
Right.
Like it's a day's journey. It sucks. He already took the the pain for it, but it's going to be the most assured way to like make sure they're on the right path. So that's what
Right.
he would basically advocate for.
Okay.
Yeah. So, we are going to have to go back to where we entered the Shadowland at and wait for morning, do we want to just go straight back there so we can resume as soon as possible?
Sure. But let's take
I mean, if
our
the quickest
time.
way, yeah.
Let's take our time heading back. Just in case that zombie army is still marching.
Well, I mean, death didn't stop them, so I don't see what else would.
So you guys start heading back then?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so you guys travel several more hours to get back to where you were, and it's going to be about 3 to 4 in the morning. Everything just kind of has you on edge at this point. Like every sound in the forest, or either natural or otherwise, kind of makes you look in that direction to see what's going on. Nothing really comes like to bite you in the ass or anything, and you eventually make it back to where you were. You recognize some of the places, and you look up in another clearing, Alan, and you see the sky, and you recognize some of the constellations of creation and some of the constellations of the underworld. So you're basically in a Shadowland at this point, and it is roughly 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning. So you have
Okay.
roughly 2 hours before the sun rises.
Let's just not even bother with the fire.
Yeah. Alan just kind of gets there, and I think he just kind of sits or lays on the ground and tries to rest as much as possible before the sun comes up and they have to, cross back over.
Okay.
I feel like Leonir would try to keep watch, and I can technically do this without much of a penalty because I have boundless endurance.
Yep.
So I'm
Is
just
that
going to.
Is that a charm or?
It's merit.
Oh, okay, awesome,
So yeah.
cool. So do you guys rest or do you guys stay up, kind of on edge?
I guess we'll try to rest if Leonir is going to
Okay.
offer to keep watch.
So in order to get any sleep in this kind of God's forsaken plane of existence, I'm gonna have everyone make a willpower roll.
Oh god. Is it max willpower or just as much willpower as we have?
Max willpower.
Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, if I have you roll willpower, you don't account for the temporary ones you've already spent. It's fine.
2.
2? Okay.
I got 3.
Rolling. I got 4.
I got 1.
All right. You
1,
are
2,
all
3, 4.
able to rest. You take shifts. You all get the willpower back that you would normally get for sleeping. Radomir, did you sleep or did you meditate?
I'll meditate.
Okay, so you can go ahead and make your roll to see how many sorcerer motes you have. And you all one by one wake up.
Now, here's a question: do my previous sorcerer motes do those roll over essentially?
No, they
No?
fade when you
Okay.
go to they fade the next night.
Okay. Okay, this is a way better roll. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Okay, so go ahead and note that on your counter that you have 5 successes. You want me to lock that in place?
No, it's fine.
All right, so you all wake up. You guys do your normal morning routine. Probably skip some of the normal luxuries to kind of get the fuck out on your way and out of there. I'll say you guys probably have some quick rations and set on your way. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
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 So you continue on, and basically while you're in the Shadowland, you actually see 2 suns You see one, sun that you're used to, the regular blazing, glory of the unconquered sun, and then kind of crest over it, you see a green sun as well, and then you keep heading basically back to where you were going originally, and then eventually it's like stepping through an archway, and the green sun vanishes,
Oh, thank God.
and you are back in creation.
Fucking. That's
Yeah.
real demon shit.
Yeah, that was real demon. All right, and you continue on
demon.
your way.
Oh,
Prize.
Okay. Is there anything in particular you guys are going to do that's of note besides your basic normal regime or anything like that, or do you want me to lapse more travel?
yeah, we probably lapse more.
All right. So you're traveling through the dense forest, which actually stops being a forest, and it's more jungly at this point. So you got vines hanging everywhere as these large.
It's gonna get humid.
Yeah, it's very humid. It's not summer, luckily, but it still has that kind of like tapering into summer sort of
Mm-hmm.
just stank about it, for lack of a better word. And so you continue on, and you see like snakes hanging from trees, kind of looking in your direction with the tongue kind of out,
Good.
and they are big fucking snakes.
Boas.
Okay, well, Leonir's going to hide behind Alan. Or
Um,
Radomir. Or both
well,
of them.
Radamir's
yeah.
taller.
She's
you
just
can
going
hide.
to hide, okay?
You can hide behind Alan, and he'll let you. But he's just kind of like, I don't know what she thinks I'm gonna be able
She's
to
going
do, but
to
that's fine.
grip onto his arm
Yeah,
while
this
behind
is
him,
like-
sort of, and be like, no!
This is completely out of character for like Leonir. Well, that you guys would know of. You're used to Leonir being this poised strength, I kill it if it's in front of me sort of attitude, but she seems scared.
Whisper is also scared because these things could probably swallow them.
Oh, most definitely. That
Oh,
snake
God.
was about 10 feet long.
Oh,
Uh,
jeez.
Can I hide with Leonir?
Yeah, sure.
Well, we're all just we're going to hide.
He's rolling his eyes so fucking hard.
You continue on.
Yeehaw.
Overhead tweet. No. it's an inside joke from another game. Okay, so you guys continue further into the jungle, and you travel for another few more days. So track.
Pretty sure if Leonir could, she would set the entire jungle on fire.
Burn it!
All right. So I don't know exactly. I'm gonna have to do some calculations to see how long you travel, but I'm gonna lapse a little bit of time. And
Can we take a short break?
what's that?
Can we take a short break?
Oh, okay. I mean, I was
'Cause-
gonna sum up the game, if we wanted to do
okay.
that, because you're about to get somewhere.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that works.
So everything around you, like the path is non-existent. There's just overbrush and wildlife and things crawling in the jungle that you probably want to stay away from. There are actually like plants that seem alive that almost follow your movements, and some of them that open and like have teeth, like giant Venus flytraps. But you avoid them. No, not to go
Same.
near those.
I have chakrams. I'll throw a bitch. I have 8 chakrams. Sorry.
They don't seem to pay you any attention as long as you're not getting close to them. And you keep going, and that's when you see it. See a wall covered in moss and cracks and just like bricks and these giant arches. And they're can see like these. It's like a sort of crystalline structure around it, and like these vines that almost pulsate as they're going through and around the crystals. And that's when you, Alan, you recognize that this is some of the crystalline technology that you read about. And the door, one of the gates is just like half off, and the other one is just non-existent. And that's when you realize you're here. You're in Rothus. And that is where we end tonight's session.
Sex? We're ending
Sex?
tonight's sex so
We will,
soon?
and that is where we'll end tonight's sex.
Okay.
Yeah, come back next time for the next episode of Dragon
that-
Ball Z.
The next
So-
episode when Radomir would flirt and maybe bang an abyssal.
Oh God!
Oh my God!
No,
Please
he
let's
totally
not.
would.
He
Don't
totally
fuck the
would.
Abyssal.
No, if Alan
him
ties
the
him down
opportunity.
first, will he not fuck the abyssal, please?
You can try to tie
That
him
might
down.
just
Yeah.
that might just exacerbate the situation, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe we'll both end
probably.
up fucking the abyssal at that point.
Jesus Christ! All right,
Nobody gets to fuck the abyssal.
so that is where we'll end tonight's session. All right,
Sounds
XP.
like a
We'll start
challenge.
from the top first. Whisper, what have you learned? And for the people in chat, if you guys have learned anything that you would like to share, that includes like what you've learned out of character, in character, or something about the characters or the game system itself, feel free to type it in chat, and you can score them some more XP.
We like the XP.
Absolutely. So Whisper, what have you learned?
Whisper has learned that public speaking really sucks.
But you did surprisingly well at it.
Right.
Alan, what have you learned?
I learned that it's easier to have your current XP be the XP that you've spent and not the amount of XP you have left over.
Ah, thank you. You've seen the errors in your ways.
I didn't understand. I kept not understanding what you meant when you were like saying you do it the other way around. And so I thought you were just talking about in the order in which I would read my total and current XP. But now that
yeah.
I finally understand, and it just makes so much more sense.
All
I
right.
feel like the way that I do it just makes sense because in fucking Death Watch you start
And,
out with
hey,
like 13,000 XP.
Everyone's different. Whatever works for you,
Yep.
you know. Later, what have you learned?
I learned that when you level up, you fucking go totemic.
Yeah, yeah. Surge of energy. Boom.
Like holy shit! I wasn't
Vladimir.
I wasn't expecting to go totemic at the beginning of the session.
I have learned that Radomir is very capable of just kind of amassing a gathering around him whenever he performs in some fashion.
Water people person. All right, Whisper.
Sure fucking is.
Whisper has learned that apparently Ellen can mend broken window.
Yeah. All right, Alan.
Not all you can do. I have learned that the Great Curse is very stretchy.
Yes.
I don't like it.
Yes.
And I still haven't had any issue with my limit.
Neither of you, neither you nor Kai has had any limit.
I have.
Or no,
No,
Kai has rolled like
It's
a
just
couple
me.
of times.
Wait,
It's just me.
let me check things. Let me check things, because also intimacies. Let me see.
Oh,
let
yeah.
me see. Let me see.
None of
I
my
think-
intimacies are really. Mine are all very.
Leonir. Leonir and Alan are just getting the brunt.
Yep.
Yeah, you're good for now.
You're good for
I
now.
accidentally did do the whole. I fucking backspaced on my limit trigger.
I know what it is
so-
though. It's denying a passion. Somebody getting denied
Yeah.
of a passion, and you not
Whether
being
it's
able to
me
help.
or somebody else, yeah.
Which I mean, so far anybody who's been denied a passion, you've been able to help. So.
Mhm.
All right. So Leonir, what have you learned?
It's refreshing to watch Mela be a kid.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and that was kind of refreshing for me to have Mela just show that, hey, guess what? I'm a kid.
I'm still like 7, guys.
It's nice.
I love Mela. She's fantastic.
Yeah. Radomir, what have you learned?
Mm,
Bradimir.
Radomir. Brodemir.
Chadomir.
Oh no!
Chadomir, no! Thanks, Chad.
Ironically, the word Chad means lake in a different language.
It means what?
It means lake in a different language.
Interesting.
I learned what I've learned that there are a lot of kind of somewhat grotesque people in the guild. And they just, from you describing them every time I see them, I'm always thinking it's the same person because they're all similar.
Well, I mean, and maybe I described the guy that you saw last time incorrectly because he was very well kept. He was just, obese.
I'm pretty sure that's how you described the guy that
The first
my
guy
mission.
was kind of greasy.
Oh, well, ew.
But there is a trend with merchants having a lot of money, so they have slaves to
They're
do
fat.
things for them, so on and so
Yeah.
forth. They
They're
can
plump.
afford to be overweight. Okay, so Whisper, what have you learned?
Let's see. That apparently there are other creepy things out there that honestly I don't want to deal with.
Things that bump in the night?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alan, what have you learned?
I learned the pattern of when, we twinkle.
Yeah. Yep.
So, Leo at dawn, me at twilight, stuff like that.
Hey, later.
Mela at eclipse.
Yep.
People actually followed what Radomir said about being discreet about their worshipping and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, they seem to know not to piss off not to make it too extravagant so the dragon blood would find out. Alright,
And how they
Radomir.
went when Leonir walked by, they went all hush
Right.
about
Yep.
it. So
Well, I've learned that Radomir is very hard to. Well, I guess so far it's really hard to cause him to trigger his limit. He's very good at fixing people's problems.
Yeah, so far you've been able to that's an out of character thing because obviously you don't know about the Great Curse.
Yeah, no.
But you have been able to dodge the Great Curse so far. Fuck you, bastard.
Fuck you.
Oh, yeah.
Whisperer, last one from you.
Last one from me.
That was the last one from Radomir. This is the last one from you.
Let's see. Whisper learned that the underworld was actually a thing.
Yeah, that's right. You botched. That's so you now know. Alan, what have you learned?
Let me try to find a good one. Da, 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 da.
And chat, feel free to jump in if you've learned anything. You can go ahead and score them some extra XP.
Alan learned that even though Whisperer is generally very quiet, that they can really give some badass motherfucking speeches.
Right? Yeah. They.
This is what I have in.
It was.
This is what I have in my notes. It says Whisperer gives a killer ass speech. Fucking baller.
Fucking baller. Excellent. All right, last one, Leonir.
Alec can finally say fuck.
Alan can say fuck. Yes.
I can do a more legit one if you want, but that's
I
like
mean, I
the
feel like
first thing
that's
that
pretty
came to
valid.
mind.
Yeah, like there was something that was upsetting enough to make Alan curse. I think that's good. All right, so that's going to be, let's see, 5 for the game. That's
Don't forget our extra
Yep.
our single instant.
Yep, for the level 3 stun. So that would be, that's going to be 16 general XP.
16 general.
Oh,
So it'd be
and
115.
what was that?
It'd be 115 total.
Yep.
Add to the 99.
And
See, now I only have to
then
update one number.
15. And so that's, and that will be 13 solar, which brings you at exactly 100.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay. And then I'll calculate the actual travel time of how long how long you guys spent to get there, and we'll do XP over the week. Yeah, but that's where we'll end today's session. Thank
God
you guys
damn it! I
so
took a
much.
screenshot.
Thank you guys so much for watching today. Thank you to chat for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Thank you for stopping by. Toodaloo.
Bye.
Bye.